Guys,
Getting dicey.
And leg issues.
Smooth.
No
He
cow.
still hasn't done the cow. Look at the leg on the cow.
I was so prepared of other things right now. I was like, oh, here's this. How's this going to be? This is going to be cool.
As your pen.
It's going to be cool. So let's
Hi, everybody.
Hi. We're going to move back 7 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes. We're going to move back in time. And the rain is pouring down, and you can see the vineyard with the mist rolling through it, and you can see the winery behind it. And we're looking from Davian's perspective. We've just got a group of these cloaked people standing underneath this tree with this rain just pouring down around them. And they've just watched you all walk off towards the vineyard. And within a couple of minutes, there is just a couple of big fiery explosions just appear off one section of the vineyard, and then another just enormous fireball. And then as there's just the sound of attacks and ravens cawing, I don't know, they're making their sound as there's just swarms of these ravens flock out of this winery and up into the sky. There's the clouds above darken and coalesce, and these three bolts of lightning just down into the ground, just lighting up the area. And there's a pause, and then just a big thunder crack just cracks out across the field in the vineyard. And there's just a look of concern on Davian's face as a couple of minutes pass of just quiet. And we find our crew standing in this room with this woman on her knees, bleeding from the mouth, and the blood is pouring out of her mouth. Loris, you're standing in front of her and just seeing the life slowly just drain from her eyes as she collapses back against the wall behind her.
So she's still breathing. Does she look like she's breathing, or she actually just died?
No, she has just bled out in front of you.
Oh, that's a bit sad. Guess we can't ask you any questions.
This is when Bill and Loris, you notice that the room that you're in, despite having 3 dead creatures in it now, it looks like it might have been some sort of printing press, or it could be a printing press. There's a desk and a chair and a tall wooden cabinet and this big strange contraption that takes up the majority of the northern end of this room. And there's little wine labels and stuff that are sitting on this what must be a printing press.
I'm gonna take a look at the press.
Okay, cool.
I'm looking at the labels and seeing if they are the same as what I would have seen in the bar.
Yeah,
or similar logos and markings and things.
Yeah, they look similar to the well, the branding is the same. I don't think you've seen many of the bottles because the wine that you got out of the thing was out of these big barrels, but the branding is very similar. But they do look like little wine bottle labels. Can you give me an investigation roll on it?
Certainly. Oh, not Frogbill. Although his investigation, I believe, is the same as mine.
Yeah.
Oof. I rolled a 19 plus 4, so a 23 total.
Yeah, cool. So you investigate this thing. It looks like it's a wine label for Purple Grape Mash number 3, which you might remember was probably the lower quality of the 2 wines that you tried. It looks like the ink used on the label is actually made from possibly the wine itself, the darkness of the wine. And there's a couple of pieces of blank parchment and some jars of glue sort of around on this table as well.
A very drinkable number. This one. Is there any of the other label?
There's none that are printed out. there's just a bunch of blank parchment.
What was she scrabbling around in here for? When I first came upon her, she seemed to be frantically looking for something or fetching something.
Morley goes over. And... Is there any pockets or anything to investigate on this woman?
You kind of, there are, and you can definitely sort of start investigating her if you like. And I'd say you give her a bit of a pat down first, as you're not sure what could be in these pockets of hers. And she doesn't, other than the stuff that was taken from her, that she doesn't seem to have anything else on her, other than her clothing. Yeah.
Nothing on her person.
But yeah, there is a cabinet in that room as well that you're welcome to investigate if you like.
Yes, let's have a look through it. There must be something she was after.
Yeah. Okay.
Can
cool.
Can I do an investigation with someone?
Yeah. Go. Feel free to
help.
investigate.
Okay. Shall I just roll with advantage?
Yeah. Please.
Okay. I've rolled a nat 20.
Yeah. You
Plus-
open the cabinet, and you can see all this mud down on the bottom of it, like where she's been obviously trying to scrabble around. Maybe she just wasn't looking, but it's so apparent to you. And just hanging from a small bit of twine at the top back corner of this cabinet is just a key, just hanging from a little bit of twine at the back.
Oh, look at this. I'm going to hold it up.
It's a
What do you
key.
think it's for?
Exactly, Morley. It's a key. He's a smart one, he is.
But to what?
Yeah.
Why is it so important?
Is there anything in this room that's locked?
Is it worth dying for? Biting your own tongue off for?
There's nothing
Someone
really
bite their
else.
tongue off.
Well, it's Druid for hello, as we went over last week. No, there's nothing really else of notice. You've looked over the desk, you've looked inside this cabinet, you've found, basically, you've investigated everything in this room.
Perhaps we should ask Davian about this. Maybe he knows why this key was so important, why it was worth dying over.
Well, it is his
She's not-
property.
She's not the only one who died for it, so
Ooh,
We should definitely get the family back into their home.
I've just had an immensely psychic thought.
Uh-oh.
I do have a spell that could allow me to locate an object that needs a key to unlock it.
Is it gingivitis again?
No.
Okay.
That'd be good though.
spot keyhole, keyhole.
I also think before we go running back to Davian, we should investigate this whole area thoroughly, just in case there are more menaces hiding in the shadows.
Yeah, because they're not actually sticking together, are they? There was one old man hiding in the roof, and
And I
couple
can't
others
stress
spread
this
around.
enough. They seem crazy.
yeah,
You've not seen crazier than them in all my journeys around the oceans.
Wow.
that's saying something.
Yeah.
I've seen some crazy boy.
Morley,
Crazy ocean.
Morley, from your position, you're sort of looking down this hallway, and there's 3 doors on your left, and at the far end of this hallway is a spiral staircase that leads down.
3 doors down.
Hey,
So yeah, sorry. So there was this spiral staircase down, but there was another one at the end of the corridor to the north as well.
I want to ask people in the room, should I try to locate what this key opens, or should we stay all above board and not investigate it unless Davian is okay with it?
locate.
I don't think he'd
Well-
mind, personally.
We've got to find out.
Let's find out first.
We have to find out.
Just in case he's passive aggressive. Let's do it. Okay.
That's true. And also, he might not think it's important, but these druids obviously do.
And don't forget there is a prophecy pertaining to this area. I believe that. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to start concentrating and muttering to myself, focusing on the idea of an unlockable object. I don't know if I can technically... I think it would be generic, like I don't know that I could think of like it matching this key. So I think I just have to concentrate on something with a lock on it.
So you're just looking for like a lock.
Yeah. Could ping a lot of things, unfortunately.
Find all the locks.
Find the bathroom.
All the locks. I'm trying to put the spell in the chat. It's called Locate Object. And it's never done anything useful yet.
Well, sorry, no. I'll see what we can see what we can do. So you're just concentrating on a lock.
It's a concentration spell for up to 10 minutes, and it locates the direction to the object within 1,000 feet.
Okay, cool. I think at this point, you just know the direction, right? You can feel sort of below you. There's a lock below you that feels like maybe it's off to the east and a little bit lower than you currently are. But on the same floor that you're in, there's also sort of a yearning towards the east.
Okay. And you'll be like, I'm sensing a yearning towards the east. Alright, I'm going to head to the east and I hope someone comes with me. I'm going to head east.
Yeah, let's all go.
You make your way past that first door and you're still not sort of being shifted in your drive to the east. You get to the second door and again, it seems to be past this room, but still sort of almost a northeastern feeling now. As you make your way to the last door in this hot corridor, looking at these stairs that sort of wind their way down. Morley?
Are those doors that we're passing locked doors? Or are they just closed doors?
No, they're just closed doors.
I'm gonna just give one a gentle nudge with my foot, this one that I'm right closest to, and sort of peek in if I can.
Yeah, you certainly can. So you just sort of push the door open, and inside there are just two pairs of bunk beds occupying the room. Against the west wall rest 4 identical footlockers.
Hey, there's some footlockers back here. There could be anything in here. There could be treasure. There could be wine baron. Maybe some illicit substances or two.
Yeah, now that you're taking a look, it looks like there's a few toys scattered about, including
just toys. Don't worry about it.
one including one just wooden rocking horse up against the sort of north eastern corner. But
Kids always have drugs.
There's something really, really strange about that rocking horse, though, Morley. The more you look at it, like, it doesn't really look like your average rocking horse. It's like, it's completely black with these wild white open wild eyes. And it's got painted orange flames where it's like mane, tail, and hooves should be.
Check out the state of this rocking horse. Boy, look at it. Flames are all over. It's some sort of hell horse.
Yeah, you can notice the closer you get to
Stylish.
it, you can see carved into the side of it a name, which is Bocephalus. And in smaller lettering, you can see the slogan, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
Ooh, that's exciting.
Bocephalus.
Bocephalus.
Where have we heard that name before? Have we heard the name Bocephalus before?
I think antibiotics will clean that right up.
I was going to say, I feel like that's the name of someone with loose morals.
Bocephalus.
What is it? Is no fun is no what?
Is no fun, is no Blinsky.
Is no Blinsky.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that
Bocephalus is never fun.
like, you know how we have like Just Do It and stuff, and we can all instantly know that that's a Nike thing. Is that something that we've ever heard of before? Is no Blinsky or?
I'm not even going to bother. Actually, no. Give me a intelligence roll, Morley.
We've been all around the world, you know. Intelligence. No one's more intelligent than the captain, apart from everyone apparently.
With a roll of 6, no, you don't know this phrase. It seems it's a brand new phrase to you. Yeah.
Rubinsky. How about that? Is the rocking horse I'm gonna give it a little knock to see if it's hollow.
No, it's actually really well crafted.
It's a finely crafted rocking horse. That one.
It's just a
if I've ever seen one.
It's just a bit strange the way that it's been carved and designed and painted.
Yeah, these flames on the sides. It's like it's very 90s. I mean, 1590s.
Okay.
Oh, well, let's go back to Mirakin at the door of this other room.
All right. I'm just holding my staff out, and like it's like a divining rod, and I'm just following it.
Yeah, and it's definitely pointing sort of
Point to the north.
northeast from where your current position, which would sort of point towards this room of which the door you're in front of.
Okay, I'm heading in.
You're just going to just bust in? Cool.
I'm not going to bust in, I'm going to walk in.
But busting makes you feel good. Okay, you sort of you push the door open and walk in, and this room contains a rectangular table surrounded by 8 chairs. There's an L-shaped cupboard sort of lining the west and northern wall, and there's a floor-to-ceiling closet pantry over in the northeastern corner, and next to their pantry just a small iron stove. On the eastern wall there's a shut door with a small keyhole.
Ooh,
And
look at that bit.
And just to the southeast of the wall, on the southeast of this room is another door as well.
So many doors in this place. It's huge. I'm heading straight for that and trying the key on it, though.
Yeah, okay. You put the key in and it just fits perfectly. You turn it, it clicks, and you've unlocked the eastern door.
Oh. I'm going to go inside.
Okay.
It was amazing, American.
You did it.
Like a
You did it.
Yeah.
Well done.
So psychic lately. Have you noticed?
maybe some of that Madame Ava stuff is rubbing off on you.
I feel like
Where's the room not showing? That's weird. I was hoping the lighting was going to work for that room, but for some reason there's zero lighting in that room. Oh no, that's there. Okay, cool.
I can see it.
Okay, cool. It's not showing up for me. That's fine. American, you open up that room and it looks like a sort of like a master bedroom. There's a 4-poster bed. Its headboard carved into the likeness of just this giant raven. There's a soft black rug that just covers the floor between the bed and the door. In the corners of the south wall stand 2 slender wardrobes with a tapestry of a church hanging on the wall between them. Beneath the tapestry sits a handsomely carved rocking cradle. To the north, under a window, is just a plain desk and chair. Other furnishings include a wooden chest and a freestanding mirror in a wooden frame.
I'm not going to lie, I'm starting to feel a little bit of a creep. But I do want to make sure that there's no evildoers in here. And honestly, I don't think they'd mind if I just have a little look in their closet and whatnot. I'm just going to have a look. Okay, everyone, don't be rough though. We're not looting, we're investigating.
Yeah, cool. So, American, you make your way over to one of the cupboards and you open up, and there's a lot of women's clothing in this cupboard. There's nothing really in there apart from women's clothing. And you walk over to the other cupboard, and there is just a bunch of male clothing.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of clothing. There doesn't seem to really be much of interest in here.
Can you
cupboards.
comment on? Can you comment on their fashion sense? Is it kind of old-fashioned or
Like everything in Barovia, it's dark and brooding. There's no colours to be found here, and it's not even exceptionally well made.
Bella's just gonna hold an item up and just be like, they need to get some colour in their life here. I feel like they would have a much more positive outlook on things if they just dressed a little nicer. And he puts it back.
Baron?
Well, I have no time to tell him. This spell only lasts 10 minutes.
Baron, you had your hand up for a minute there.
Oh, what was it that had the raven?
The
The
headboard.
crow ones.
The headboard for this four-poster bed was just this carved into this massive raven.
I'm interested in this raven motif that we keep finding. Can I investigate that?
Yeah, give me an investigation roll.
Okay. A 3 plus 7.
Total of 10. I mean, it looks like there's been a lot of care into carving this as nicely as it has been carved. In comparison to like the carving work on the legs of this bed and stuff, it's infinitely more detailed and cared for.
Is it thick? Like they could hide things inside it, or?
You give it a knock and it's solid, and it's maybe 5 centimeters, maybe 2.5 inches thick.
What do you guys reckon? This is the only thing of note, I think, that I've seen.
I mean, we haven't really searched around much. We just opened a closet. There's so many things we could look at, but I'm actually anxious to not dally in this room personally while there's still one more lock that I'm sensing.
Oh, I didn't catch that. So there's another
I
lock.
think 2, didn't I?
As you made your way across to this room, the position of the lock beneath you sort of lines up with just, where there was the sliding door, the big sliding door out onto the veranda. There was another small door next to that. And you're kind of positioning your knowledge of where you are to thinking it might just, the lock that you're picking up is just like one of the front doors in.
Okay, so a place we've already been?
Just downstairs, yeah.
Right.
Into the
Okay.
room with the four big casks.
Ah, okay. So the fact that she's taken this key leads me to believe there's something of value hidden in this room. I want to search just everywhere.
Yeah, I mean there was a desk in there. There was a big black rug covering the floor as well, and the big tapestry sort of between the rocking cradle.
I'm
behind the
thinking,
rocking
look behind the tapestry, look under the rug, go through the desk,
Okay.
just see if there's anything hidden anywhere.
So I did miss one other lock. I'm very sorry. There was one other lock, and that was to do with the chest that was sitting at the edge of the bed as well. So, but you've seen that as well. The key worked in this door and unlocked it, and as you opened it, there was more to the east. It was just a small chest sitting near the edge of the bed that also has a lock on it.
Can I try the key in that?
It doesn't seem to fit. It's the key for this is the keyhole is much smaller.
Okay. She wanted something in here. I'm sure of it. Everyone, let's look.
All right, who's taking what? We can sort of do a quick scour of the room.
I'll take the church thing.
Tapestry. The tapestry. Cool. Give us an investigation roll for that.
11 plus 7.
Cool. Nice, good roll of an 18. There's nothing behind the tapestry. There's nothing. You sort of grab the tapestry up and kind of give it a feel and pat it down. Look behind it on the wall and give the wall behind it a bit of a knock and a feel. It's a little hollow, but the door that was outside this room to the south makes you think maybe this is just a corridor behind it. You don't really find anything
Nothing
behind
odd.
the tapestry. Bill.
Okay.
Bill pops his head out the door and just says, "Hey, Morley or Loros, either of you got a way of getting into a chest?
I have this.
Ideally subtly." Ideally subtly, he says as Loros raises up an axe.
I have other things. That's right. I've got my picks that I haven't used for a while.
Right.
Stashed away.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great if we didn't ruin their house.
Okay. Where Loris has just been kind of hanging around the room because he was picking up the druid's tongue. That's why.
Ew!
That's why he laid down the hallway. He was just picking up the tongue and folding it in. He folded it up in a bit of rag and he just kind of stuffed it into his bag of holding.
Okay. Just chucked it in.
You've
Full
got a
out.
bag of holding?
Yeah, I had.
You
that-
guys have had a
for
bag of
quite-
holding for a long time. You got
Oh, I
it. You got
forgot
it
about
thrown in for free when purchasing something from Needle, I believe.
We
Right.
should use that.
Well, I just assume that's where
That's not really
everything
handy.
goes.
Loris has just been chucking shit into his bag for like.
Oh god, just open it up and all the bottle comes out.
Full of tongues and
It's like, is the bag of holding really for the players, or is it for the DM so they can just be like,
Thank you.
fuck this, I don't want to track all this stuff.
That's exactly it.
Have stuff. Yeah. So which room are you in, Bill? Loris has kind of heard you, but he knows you're in a room somewhere, but he's not really sure.
Follow my voice. We're northeast.
Yeah, you hear like the sound of the voice coming from an open door at the end of this corridor that you're in, Loris.
Down here.
no,
Well,
yeah, up, yeah.
Yep. And then
While he's finding his way, can I just look under that rug quickly? I'm sure there's nothing.
give us an investigation roll.
Ooh, but I'm not good at it. How bad could you be at looking under a rug? Let's find out.
Let's take a look. I didn't say it requires a massive roll, but it requires a roll.
I have a +0 and a roll 2, so that's how bad you can be.
Oh, that's how bad you can be.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty bad roll. You pick up the rug and just like a bit of dust sort of kicks up, and your eyes get a bit watery, and like you're stomping around on the rug. Just like I'm not going to look under it. I'm just going to stomp around on it. And you don't really feel anything underneath foot.
But what if there is, just because I'm
Fine. You can
incompetent?
take the next 5 minutes to thoroughly investigate, of which you find very little, if not nothing.
Right.
There is still the desk, the bed, the rocking. What was it? There was a rocker there as well, wasn't there? A rocking cradle.
Rocking bed,
Cradle.
cradle thing.
A crib?
My crib. D&D
I
crib.
won't leave here until I've discovered the secret.
Where's this chest you want me to open?
That one. I point at the chest.
That one.
It's up against the north eastern corner.
So I'm just going to look at it, go over to it, give it a bit of a kick, see if just a little tap to see
Okay.
if it kind of opens. Not like a smash, but just a kick to see if the lid, just to confirm that it's actually locked.
Mm.
And then I dig around in my bag of holding if it doesn't open, and pull out my very ancient old thieves tools, and give the lock a bit of a jiggle.
Yeah, give us
If I-
a roll with your thieves' tools.
I wonder if this actually works. I'll click them and see what happens.
Hopefully you got that set up.
I can't remember. I don't think I do. Hang on, let's go. Click.
What's Bill wanting to
Yeah,
say?
Bill, what's up?
I'm gonna face out this window
Okay.
at the desk and just. It's not like we're doing anything wrong, but I don't want anybody to show up while we're in the middle of doing whatever it is we're doing.
Yeah, you're looking.
So I'm just gonna keep an eye out.
You're looking out over the vineyard, and there's still the mist rolling in and the rain pouring down outside. And faintly you can see underneath the trees off in the distance to the north, just those cloaked figures sort of looking back in your direction.
I just called to Baron American. What a lovely view to wake up to. Wouldn't this be really, really nice?
So for some reason it rolled.
I could really live at a vineyard.
It is nice, isn't it? And a lot of wine.
Look, are we looking through the vines to see them? Because they're all overgrown.
You're
So we
on the
could-
second floor, so you're looking down across
Oh,
everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seeing how messed up. We see like all these like scorched areas and like the vines are all out of
Yeah.
control, and we're like, lovely.
Bill,
This is
actually, that is
nice.
interesting. You've seen obviously a couple of big charred marks in this vineyard, but you're actually seeing a lot of the overgrowth that wasn't part of like the vineyard, so just the grassy areas, actually starting to die off, as if planted in sort of rotten soil, I guess. But Loris, with a roll of 16, you fiddle around with the thieves' tools, and you just pop the lid of this chest open, and inside there's just a bunch of coins. There's maybe 150 gold pieces worth of currency within this chest, Can you also give me just an give me an investigation check or a perception check. It's up to you, whichever one you feel.
Same. I'll do investigation. I
Um,
rolled a 7.
4 plus 3. So you're sort of looking around and digging through the coins. You notice that there's a lot of these the Electrum coins that are in there. They're all got the profile of Strahd von Zarovich on them. The rest of the coins are just sort of gold coins that have the typical Barovian stamps on them, but all of the Electrum pieces have Strahd's face on them. Bill.
Cool.
Based on our interactions so far, is that common? Like, is that the currency just generally has this very vampiric vibe, or
This is probably the first time you've seen the Electrum. The gold pieces you've seen definitely don't look like the pieces you're used to seeing outside in Faerun. These definitely look like they're local coins. Yeah.
I just don't feel like the druids would be here for money, for coins. There must be something more.
Bill,
Oh,
I'm not satisfied with just seeing coins.
Bill, can you give
they're not here for money.
Bill? Can you
What's that?
give me a perception roll, Bill?
perception?
Perception.
Nice.
I rolled a 19 plus 4.
Okay, cool. You while you're sort of standing at the desk looking out the window, you go to move away from the window, and you see just a leaf of paper sticking out of one of the drawers on the desk.
Oh, what's this here? And I snap it up.
Yeah, well, you go to pull it, and it feels like it's like attached to something. So you open up the drawer, and it looks to be a ledger of sorts.
I check their books.
Yeah, you place the ledger down. You place the ledger down onto the desk and flick through, and it looks to be holding a bunch of it looks to be a manifest recording a bunch of wine shipments, and it looks like it goes back like a century, easily. And you're sort of having a quick look at the front, the more recent shipments, and they've all been kind of coded off. There's one of under the locations section of this manifest. Some of the more recent ones say BV as the location. Another one has another one that you pick up on is BW. A third one that you pick up on is a K, and you're flicking through and you're seeing these same locations, and it must be quite local. Another one that you're seeing repeating is just the word Vistani. And you just flick right back. You go back as far as these records show, and write one of the oldest records, and it only appears like what's 100 years ago. And it's one of the first deliveries is an S.
These look like customer names.
They were locations. All of those were locations.
Ooh,
But
I wonder if
give me an intelligence check, Bill.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's
I'm
great.
just running hot tonight. 19 plus 1 plus 1.
Nice. With a roll of 21, all of these just like click into place for you. The first one, Vistani. You're pretty certain that's been delivered to some Vistani camp. Maybe multiple Vistani camps.
Feels more like a customer than a location, but sure.
The K, well, you've heard of Kresk, and you're thinking, I haven't heard of anything else with a K. It's got to be Kresk that these deliveries have gone to. BW, we just came from the Blue Water Inn. Surely that's the BW. And BV, Barovia, Blood of the Vine, maybe? Everything seems to sort of make sense. But that S can surely only mean one thing.
Is there any particular flourish to the lettering around the S? Is it a little bit more gothic than perhaps would be required inside of an accounting ledger?
No, but you quickly flick the pages back to where you saw that S, and you trace it to what the delivery was. And you notice a name of a wine that you haven't really heard of before. It wasn't definitely not mentioned at any of the taverns you've been in, and it only goes. It looks like they stopped delivering sometime maybe in the last 10 to 15 years, but for Strahd specifically, and all of his entrants back 100 years ago, are all the same wine. And it's the Champagne de l'Estampe.
Alright, I write down Champagne de l'Estampe. I'm surprised he's not more of a red man.
It's actually illegal to call something champagne unless it's been grown in Champagne. But they know that.
I hope. Well, you
Not
better
a
tell them
Barovia,
this.
baby!
You better tell them this.
They make their own laws.
So, how far back was that latest one to Strahd?
15 years ago.
15 years.
So they've been delivering this since 100 years ago up till about 15 years ago. That might explain all the Strahd money that they've been hoarding.
Mm.
And they might not want to show anyone their Strahd money.
Perhaps
What
it's a
was that,
family
Molly?
secret, the affiliation with the devil himself.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys, I think I've found something here. We should take a look. And I have convey that stuff to the group. Does anybody I think this is Strahd. I think Strahd has been buying wine from these people, but I don't know. Do vampires need to drink?
Well, if
Has he
he's
only been?
been a vampire for 15 years, he's stopped buying it, right?
What? No, he
He's been-
hasn't been a
He's
vampire,
been a vampire for a
15
very,
years.
very long time.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe
It's
he
been
just
said.
decided he didn't like
We,
it.
we know.
You guys definitely have
He's
this
been a
knowledge.
vampire for like 400 years.
I told that vampires is forgotten.
So he's buying it until recently.
The ancient
Well,
one,
15
15
years.
years ago.
He's now a teenager. Well, that's why he's got so grumpy all of a sudden. That will explain it.
Always staying in his room at Ravenloft.
Maybe he and Ollie have something in common where they're going to be like, totally off the booze.
Maybe, if he hasn't drunk anything for 15 years.
I might see him at a meeting.
He could be a
this-
sponsor.
While
This
all
makes
this,
me think... Oh, sorry.
do you mind if I'm still in this room over here with these bunks and these footlockers?
Okay.
Do you mind if I look under the beds and in all the footlockers so I can free myself up and shoot off?
Yeah, so you've been searching this room while the others have been out looking into this master bedroom. And it really just looks like a bunch of sleeping quarters. There's just clothes in the footlockers. There's toys and stuff on the ground. It looks lived in. It looks like it's being lived in. But there's nothing of note. There's nothing really of value.
All right.
Just personal belongings,
Bounding through the doors up here and go, guys, there was nothing in that room.
Yay!
Reckon
Thank you,
there's
Morley.
nothing more in that chest other than the coins, yeah?
From your investigation, no.
Okay. I'm just going to slam the lid down and go, nothing but Strahd money in there. And basically ignore it. Moving on.
Bill,
But then he only rolled a 7, so I'm like,
you don't know that. You don't know.
I know,
You don't
that's
know what he
metagaming,
rolls.
so that I haven't acted on it.
Yeah.
But my character is like dead set on finding something in this room, and I'm not satisfied with some coins and a manifest. I'm going to keep looking.
Where are you going to look?
Well, is there anything else in the desk?
Just stuff that you'd expect to find in a writing desk. There's quills, some ink that smells a little bit like wine. Like this is obviously what they use for ink here.
Yes,
The bed hasn't been investigated. But other than that,
I'm just gonna-
everything else has kind of been checked over.
I'm like, did you check for any hidden compartments in the chest? Anything like that? It seems very intriguing.
No, it's just a money chest. It's very dull and boring.
I'm going to look.
All right, give.
I'm not satisfied with this room. It's just
all right.
I don't think a druid would creep in for a manifest. She seemed crazy. Why would she care about a manifest?
Because she's
She wasn't
crazy.
the other.
Pardon?
Give us.
What?
I don't.
I'm having problems hearing people. Can someone repeat what they just said?
I said
Because
she could be doing it because she's crazy, but you're right. You can still investigate.
And what did Dave say?
she did bite her own tongue off. I mean,
Dave, you might want to move
Yeah,
your
that's
microphone
pretty-
a little closer to you. Yeah, thank you.
I'm just saying that's pretty crazy. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know if they're crazy. They're like, they've got some kind of real purpose and they're willing to die for it if they're caught. So I don't think it just seems nuts.
Yeah, I just think there must be something, unless I'm completely barking up the wrong tree,
Well, give us a.
which I could be, but I'm all out of psychic energy, frankly.
You're welcome to give me an investigation roll for that chest if you want to sort of head back over.
My investigation is so crap. I mean, I guess I will, but I'm
Can I help?
feeling disheartened by my
I'll help
crappy
with this.
investigation.
All right, so both of you kind of just like hear that Loris has mentioned, look, it's just cash, and you guys are like, ugh, never mind. And you both sort of head over towards the chest to try and investigate this thing together. So with a roll of
I rolled 16 plus 0.
Let's have
I mean, technically, I should have asked Brian to roll. He's very intelligent.
yeah. You do see while Loris was checking inside the chest, you dig through and you can't find anything in there as well. But you look at the lid of this thing and it's quite clearly not like concave. There's clearly like a bit of wood that's hiding something. You notice a little place to put your fingers and you pop open the top of the lid of this chest. And
Dun-dun-dun.
And inside, you find a small golden locket, and you open that up, and it just contains this small painted portrait of this beautiful woman. And you also find in there just a pouch. Pardon me. You find this pouch, and it feels like it's like gems or something in it. And you open up this small pouch, and inside you just find 5 of these just stunning gemstones. And they look to be worth maybe 50 gold piece each. But that's...
I'm just
that's
holding
all you
them and my
find in
hands are
there.
trembling with my discovery, our discovery. Brian, look at this, the locket.
Yeah. Who is that? And that who's
Is there
that
any
picture
kind
of?
of
You don't-
is there any kind of words with it? Often they have some kind of words
If it
in the
says
locket.
Tatiana, my head's
Exactly.
gonna pop
If it
off.
says, I was gonna say if it says Tatiana, I'm gonna lose my shit right here.
Does she look anything like Irina?
No, it doesn't look anything like Irina. If you wanted you could try and pull this little portrait out of the locket, I guess, to see if there was anything behind there if you wanted to.
I'm like, what if it's Bocephalus? And it just says there's no Blinsky on the inside.
Or maybe this is a portrait of Blinsky. Yeah,
oh god,
she's no Blinsky.
I'm just like, my fingers are trembling, and I'm like, we mustn't stop our investigation here. This is clearly something of significance. And I'm going to very carefully try and investigate the locket.
All right, we're gonna, since you're trying to be gentle to this thing, I'm gonna get I guess a sleight of hand is probably the best
okay.
roll for
I'm
this
very
one.
she says, going for a crit fail. I've rolled 13 plus 3 for 16.
Yeah, great. So you get just one of your fingernails and manage to just lift up the edge of this portrait. And you just peel this little portrait away from the locket. And on the back, written in a similar ink to what you might have seen in that desk drawer, it just says, "My dearest Angelica." Just in really small lettering on the back of this portrait. And with that
Angelica.
roll of 16, you just managed to place that gently back into the locket, and it looks like it hadn't been touched.
What does Angelica look like?
Angelica has a very Barovian look, unfortunately. Even though this has been a nice commissioned painting, there is a wariness that is still being captured in her face. She's wearing a dark cloak, one that you have it looks familiar to the ones that you've seen being worn by the people outside, standing out in the rain. And again, just these small details of these feathers attached to different parts of this cloak.
Feathers.
Yeah. Is she she's wary? Is she young? Is she old?
She looks to be sort of maybe in her 40s when this was painted.
And does she look like she is of noble birth or honest, humble, an earthen folk or something?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't look noble or anything like that. She looks like she doesn't look anything more than someone you might pass in the street, like in a Valachian street or something like that, or a Barovian street.
Well, I'm starting to feel like I'm just creeping on a family heirloom now. Frankly,
You pretty much are. You're digging through personal possessions now.
Loris with the classic guilt trip.
Yeah. You either smash it or leave it. You don't just touch it.
You don't
Well-
think about it, and you don't look at it.
I could offer a rationale here, but I'm not going to.
Can I commit this to memory? This picture of Angelica.
I don't see why not, right? Do you want to roll for it, or I'm happy with you just having that in your mind?
Okay. I'm just going to really try and remember what she looks like.
Okay.
And I'm also going to take one Electrum coin with Strahd's face on it.
Yeah, you just pick that up and pocket it. You're not trying to hide it from everyone. You just obviously.
No, it's
picking
not
it
a
up.
secret.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to match this up if I ever find another one.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, you add.
There's
add that
something
to
going
your-
on here. There's a connection to Strahd.
Now, remember when they poisoned that wine downstairs? Now, that wasn't the Champagne de la Stomp, was it?
You'd have to. I'm not sure if I gave you the names of the wine on the casks at the time. I don't even know if they were emblazoned with anything other than Wizards of Winery.
Right. Because if we found out that these druids were actually trying to poison Strahd, or something like that, that'd be a bit of a twist.
That makes us the bad guys.
You
We just killed. We just killed the good guys.
Well, I mean, they might not be goodies, but they might. I don't know.
I mean, did you see their teeth?
Yeah, they're
If we can find some Champagne de la Stomp that's still around, that might give us a clue.
Ooh, what if that's
could
the
hide in the
finest
barrel.
wine?
Yeah,
with
we
the
could-
cask is
yes.
now empty from the prophecy.
That would be the finest one.
I bet it was.
We look for Champagne de la Storm.
You can't just say you look for it.
You find it.
down to the
Oh, I'm feeling
barrel
so
holding
intrigued.
place.
I passed them all.
Yeah, what's Morley up to?
Just over here. I was in the other room beforehand when you were describing this room, so I probably didn't get a fully good look at it. I think this is a stove over here in the corner, right?
There's like a floor-to-ceiling pantry in the top sort of northeastern corner, and next to it is just a little stove.
Okay. All I want to do is have a wee look in the stove. I know that seems weird, but it's where people burn things when they're trying to get rid of evidence. But also open up the pantry.
Yeah, okay. Well, the
got
pantry
hungry.
just holds a bunch of different cooking ingredients and some like preserves and stuff like that, things that have been jarred and put away. And the stove looks to have been relatively recently cleaned, as in there's no food inside it. There's nothing burnt inside it. But there's a couple of plates and stuff left on the table. While there's not a lot of food on them, they're not exactly clean plates.
Can I feel the side of the stove to see if it's warm?
Yeah, no, it's not warm. It hasn't been used in a while by the looks of things. And like the people,
Stone cold stove.
the people haven't like the owners of the winery. They mentioned that they haven't been in there for 2 days,
Yes.
and the druids haven't been
okay.
cooking.
And what were they eating then for the last 2 days?
good berries.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I'm just trying to quickly just check something here. American, there's just like a moment where your attention is grabbed. There's that ping of poison that just quickly pings below you, sort of off to the south below you, just like right on the edges of where your spell is reaching, and it's just like the ping of poison, and then just something, and that ping just darts across out of your sensing, out of your senses.
I actually must say that I don't have that spell active anymore because I started a new concentration.
Oh, okay. Well,
spell.
you don't sense that, and I've ruined something.
I'm just sensing locked objects now.
Oh, well, you have no memory of what I have just stated.
Good.
Cool.
I'm just like, hey everyone, I think I
Oh.
am sensing nothing.
Oh, nothing. So what's the crew up to? Bill, what's happening now that you've investigated this master bedroom? You've had hints of wine deliveries.
I'm gonna head downstairs and I'm gonna try to find a barrel with the markings of the Champagne de l'Estampe on them.
All right. Well, let's move you down to the bottom of the stairs. So you make your way basically down the hallway, back down into the walkway above the casks.
I'm gonna check the vats first because those would be the biggest
The big casks
by
that you're
volume
seeing,
amounts
yeah?
of them. Yeah, these are the fermenters.
Loris, I'll just chuck you down there as well, so you can. Don't worry. So these big casks that you see in front of you. Well, okay. Before you get your way down to the bottom, you see sort of wet markings at the lips of these. On that balcony above these casks, right? There was a little platform above each cask, where one of the druids was seen pouring this liquid, which American sensed as being poison. You can see now that there are wet footprints, little muddy footprints that are at the edge of the other two barrels as well, and they have run down the stairs that you've taken to the ground floor, and little muddy footprints have just run through the southern door.
Are they new footprints?
Yeah, they're new footprints, and yeah.
Follow those, Bill.
Bill.
Someone else.
Yeah, I think seeing that something has changed in this room and knowing where Davian and his family are, I'm gonna run
Yeah, you just run
in that direction.
You run straight for
I'll
this south
and
door.
I'm gonna call out with my message, pointing in that direction. Let me just double check. Yeah, I don't need to see it, so I'm just gonna call out and say, "Wait, I think we're on the same team here."
So you go running for that southern door and you just burst it open, and you sort of find yourself in what looks to be like a glassblower's workshop, and there's all these stairs that head down underneath into sort of maybe a basement area, and there's a door on the eastern side. Sorry, you're off to the south. Sorry. Let's move you over to where. Yeah, that's the one. And the door to the east is just wide open, and these muddy footprints just head out, and you chase to the edge of there, walk out onto these steps, onto the rain outside, and there's just no sign of anyone or anything. Just the mist rolling in through this vineyard. And you don't get anything back from your message.
Well, shit.
And he's the only one who's seen that.
Well,
The rest of us are still upstairs, yes?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had assumed you guys were all following him back down to the, unless there was a reason you wanted to stay up in those bedrooms. You're welcome to. I can put you back. That's very easy.
I guess I'll come along. I did want to make sure there was nothing special about those gemstones, but if they're just gemstones, I'll just quickly put everything back.
Right, okay, so you weren't taking the gemstone. The locket as well, you placed that back within that compartment, or did you keep the locket?
I'm not keeping anything.
Not keeping anything. You tidy everything away and follow after Bill. And you're walking across the walkway above as you hear Bill bursting through these doors chasing something. And you too spot these muddy footprints along this balcony. Each they seem to have stopped at each of the lips of the casks on the floor below.
Oh no. Well, I'm just going to run out into the rain if that's what's going on.
Yeah, you're quick to follow behind Bill.
Am I going the right way?
Out through the south door. And
Oh,
then,
right here.
Yeah, that's the one.
Can anyone track things? Is anyone good at that? Bill says, like, popping his hood.
Is that like that's a
I mean-
survival skill, isn't it? In nature.
I
No.
don't know if I have any more spell slots. I've been honing on these spell slots, man. Actually, I do have one first level spell slot to detect poison and disease left, but it only works for 30 feet, so I'm not that confident. I'm not going to do
I
it.
think we have to assume at this point that everything is poisoned.
Yeah. I wonder... Yeah, can I use, like, a survival check
You can
to see if I
give me
can...
a survival roll if you like.
Just to see if I can sense their tracks, but I think Loris is good at
I mean,
tracking, isn't he? So I rolled a 19 plus 6
yeah, you
with my nature whatnot.
while the muddy footprints have sort of blended in with the mud out here from the rain having sort of poured down, you do spot some footprints that just that sort of dart out across and towards some trees to the south.
Okay.
But you don't see anybody.
Can I run towards it?
You can, but like the trees are like 100 feet away, and you don't see anyone between you and those trees.
Do you reckon they got away, is what you're saying?
It sounds like they got away. It looks like they got away.
Ugh, I think they got away.
What does it smell like?
What does the world smell like?
Does it smell like they got away?
It smells definitely like they got away. It smells like a
damn it.
druid.
This displeases me.
I think you will sort of
I-
maybe get back, like head back inside to continue.
Yeah, I'm gonna head back in. And I'm gonna continue my search for Champagne de la Stomp.
Stomp, yeah.
Stomp.
You investigate all of these casks, and none of them have any names of any wines on them. Just has the name of the winery emblazoned on these casks. And you look through all these barrels up against the wall, and these are all empty barrels. And none of those have Champagne de la Stomp. You've got a few barrels of purple grape mash number 3, and the rest seem to be Red Dragon Crush. And they're all empty.
Well, I have questions for Davian, but doesn't seem like we're gonna get any answers here.
I think you might be on the right track, Brian. What if they do have an old affiliation with Strahd?
Not that old too. He was already a vampire by then, like 100 years ago. So
And what's
they
with
know
the
who they're dealing
raven?
with.
The raven
Yeah.
motif, and they'd helped us in battle. What if those were Strahd's ravens?
I don't know. I still suspect that they have something to do with the people back at the inn, the Blue Water Inn, which are affiliated with this place, of course.
And that dream I had with the raven.
Yeah, because that was, what's her name from the Blue Water Inn? She became the
Danica.
Raven. Danica. She
Danica.
became the Raven, right? In your dream.
She said she had folk that could help us. Maybe they were the ravens.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm just distraught about all this wine, to be honest.
I can't believe it. I think they've just... One of the final rogue druids went and poisoned all of this wine. Now we can't have any.
Dix, I'm just going to step out into the mist while little tears roll down my cheek.
Aw.
Think about the wine. The mist just rolls in.
Nice. Nice.
Fucking misty out here. I'll go back inside.
What's Morley up to during all this?
Molly's gonna. So Molly briefly sort of joined Bill for that chase, seeing that the perp got away, went back in, and Molly wanders back out to the cart that was loaded up with those
Oh
wines.
yeah, yep.
And I want to kind of have a look at those. So I'm going to try and jump up on the cart again, and just have a wee look at the barrels that were all loaded up and ready to go. I'm looking for one, if they've been tampered with, and two, if they're full.
Okay.
And any kind of markings I can see on
Yeah,
them.
cool. Give me an investigation roll. Is that 9 plus 5? Total of 14. Great. There's 3 barrels on the back of this wagon, and each of them have the brand of the wine emblazoned on them. Each of these, they're all the same. Purple Grape Mash number 3. Not one of Morley's favourites. Well, not that he drinks, actually. That's right. He would definitely not be one of his favourites.
Don't touch the stuff.
Don't touch the stuff. None of the barrels look to have been tampered with, other than maybe some muddy footprints from where you were standing to jump up to grab onto that rope earlier.
What?
There was a,
They had-
there was a rope that you climbed up, and there was a...
Yes, I remember that, but where do I see the muddy footprints?
Just on so there's on like the barrel sort of here, the northern end of this wagon, there was just one footprint, and another footprint on the back of the wagon there as well, that match up perfectly with where you were standing.
Oh, so they're probably my footprints.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's yes.
Well, say that then.
A size 10 boot,
Yeah.
similar
Morley
to
looks
what
down
you
at,
would
at
wear.
the footprints, and then looks down at his feet, and then back at the footprints, up at the rope, back down at the footprints.
Is the Baron anywhere near me that I can call out? I think there's still some drinkable wine here, Baron.
You hear that, Baron. You definitely hear that.
Given Loris's position where he's standing, because I just wandered around the front of the front of the thing because I'm looking to see where Devan and all them are. I want to get their attention. But hearing Morling say that, I just want to say to him, "Hang on, that's got to go to the inn. We shouldn't be touching this stuff until we deliver it."
Thanks, Lawrence. More just making a commentary on the fact that not all the wine appears to be poisoned.
Stop drinking it all, Morley.
It's
We
more
know.
Baron that I don't trust about
Don't worry
drinking the wine.
Loris, while you're out there, you do see, you look out towards Davian, and where he was standing underneath the trees, and you do see a few of them making their way up the path now. Although they're not close at this point. They're still maybe a good 100 feet away.
Loris is just kind of waving and yelling out, "It's safe! Come on in! We've cleared it out! It's all good!"
Having checked some of the winery, yes, you are.
I don't know if it
Checked
is
enough
safe.
of it. It's good. We're
Well,
safe. We're
Julie
here.
just ran away.
Yeah, it's good. I figure if he's here, we can at least talk to him and he can speed this process up a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
we
I-
should guard them.
I agree. We're going to have to get some answers from these fine folk. We're not getting anywhere by ourselves, honestly.
I think we're getting somewhere. But
Very
just
slowly.
don't mention the locket that we all had a peep on if you can help it.
Well, that does bring up the point, like, how do we know about these, this champagne de l'estampe? Because that's what I want to
Hey.
ask them about.
Just let me.
Let Bill
Worry
go
about
do
that.
this.
I'm gonna be.
Alright.
I'm gonna
Very
be
happy.
like.
Very happy to talk to them.
I'm gonna
Okay.
be like. Yes, it's always best when Bill takes a leave. Whenever I talk to anyone, it ends up awfully. Bill, come over here. Come over here. I have some. I know this didn't work last time, but I really do believe the spell could help you. And she takes a feather out and she just places it on him, and she says, "I believe you can have the charisma and the grace and the cunning of the finest beasts." And she nods, and he feels a surge of charisma.
Okay.
I feel like a grand peacock at showtime.
Bring it to them gently about the poison wines, Bill. Bring it to them gently.
I will.
All right.
I will.
And Davian and the group arrive sort of just north of the Loris, where the wagon full of barrels is placed. And we'll go to a break. 5-minute break.
All right.
Kit Kat for the
Oh
brain.
my god. I'm gonna put the. I've been
Sponsored
like
by Kit Kat.
I've been going crazy on my spell slots.
You've been smashing them.
Yeah.
How many
I'm
spells?
just like,
When did we pick up the Kit Kat sponsor? That's new.
That's for free, baby.
That was
Just such a big fan of the product.
some good investigations going on. Some really good investigations.
and then Bill's
Oh,
like,
it's-
we've figured out nothing.
Yeah, I'm surprised you think you figured out nothing. Why do you feel that way, John?
Oh, well, we got the champagne, and we know that there's someone who's important to the family.
We
And
know
there's a
there's
bunch
been
of
some
poison.
deliveries made.
I think the thing is there's obviously something missing here. People been running in and then disappearing, but we can't seem to ever grasp them or
You killed
work
4
things
of
out.
them.
Well, one of them
we
killed
grasped them
themselves.
pretty
One of
good.
them killed
That's true.
themselves.
That is true. That is true.
Let's be.
That's true.
And that happened to be the one that we were gonna question.
That is true.
I
If I
think
bit off my own tongue, would I die?
Well,
yeah,
she
I
was
can-
she was
You'll
fairly
bleed
well
out.
battered.
She
as
had
well.
like 0 HP. She was unconscious
Yeah.
and then managed to wake up, bite through, and just bleed out. I think you
Could
yeah.
the Baron have raised her from
If you-
with one of his spells and then we talk to her, or is that so they lose their own mind? So I forgot
They
the
come
last
back
one.
as like a
zombie?
zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's annoying.
There is a spell called Speak to the Dead.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
and also oops, carry on.
If you bit your own tongue off, Adam,
Do it. Do it. Oh,
Do it.
you would eventually die, but from bleeding out,
not from old age.
not from having 0 HP.
Right.
That's not how it works in real life.
I would actually die if I bit my own tongue off.
I think it's got like a
Unless
main
it got
artery,
sewed
right?
back
Doesn't
together.
it?
Yeah.
That's how prisoners commit suicide
Ew.
if they don't have access to anything else,
Ew.
like hanging themselves.
That's really quite scary that you know that, John.
Do they?
a little
I
bit,
once
eh?
was a prisoner who committed suicide.
But I got better. The Foolish Fool says you guys have got a bunch of strings, but no way to tie them together. Is that the problem?
That is exactly
Yeah.
how I feel.
That's
I wanted to, but you got to get the strings
You gotta
first.
get
And
the
I wanted to
strings.
say, what do you mean we didn't discover anything? We found Bocephalus. It's no fun. It's no Blinsky.
It's no
How
fun.
is that
It's
not a
no
good
Blinsky.
lead?
I'm gonna when Davian comes in, I'm gonna look for an opening and just go,
Oh, no.
fun, no Blinsky. See what
Oh,
Yeah.
he's just going to be
Also-
really
Gonna
embarrassed
ruin
and trying to
my
hide it
thing,
from his
right?
family.
This is going to be like the what does Saint Andrew do? But it's going to be Isno Blinsky. What is Isno Blinsky?
I'm
Straight in,
patron
no
saint of
questions.
Oh, you've
This is,
Bocephalus.
Bocephalus Quartz. He's mad as hell. And this is the
Oh, nice.
upset locket lady. Who is she?
Who the fuck is she?
I love the locket drawing. It's great.
Yeah, it's
Great
very cool.
note-taking.
The raven feather motif. So mysterious.
I wasn't sure if I should get you guys or get Morley to roll to see if he knew what Bocephalus was. Because it's a D&D, it's a monster, it's a D&D creature.
Oh.
But I didn't know if I
Well, that would be Arcana, right?
Yeah. And I wasn't sure if I was basically gonna, because I don't know. I wasn't sure if it was something I needed Morley to know, or if it was even important, or if it was just one of those, "Hey, that's cool," because I played D&D and I know of that monster, or something like that. So yeah, I wasn't sure.
Feeling
Well, now Adam knows.
Yeah. Oh well, we're really putting the Kit Kats off.
I'm feeling so hungry for a crisp wafer-based treat.
I could really go for a break. What do you guys suggest?
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Oh my god!
Joe,
If I
you've
could
got
go
yours
get
as
that
well.
Kit Kat wrapper that I had, BRB.
Show a Kit Kat, get a subscriber. Is that how this one is tonight? We've had
I'm just trying to block any recognizable, obscure the logo enough that we don't get in trouble for it.
we'll get a takedown notice on YouTube or something when we put this up. See, that was mint cookie fudge. I didn't know it was so special, Joe. That is special.
I know. It's a special one.
I do just want to say a quick thank you to Gathor JPM, Third Degree Entertainment, Pushbike, Zytec 2K2, and Zaphael for giving us a follow tonight. We got a bunch of new followers last night as well, which because everything was a little different, I didn't really get a chance to thank you all. But so thanks to everybody who popped in last night to check out the cool little crossover event that we had with like 6 other podcasts. It was a super cool 2-hour one shot that was just a lot of fun. So hopefully, I think we're going to be maybe doing that once a month and sort of taking shifts with DMing. So that should be a bit of fun, a little bit of extra content for people who like what we do. So definitely give us a follow so you can find out when we go live regularly or when we go live with something cool and fancy and new. Yeah. And also, we've got a Discord, so come and talk to us. That's incredibly active, I think. It's active pretty much every day. !Discord to get a link to that, and you can just come in and talk to us about anything D&D. We've also got a YouTube channel where all of our previous episodes are stored, as well as on Twitch as well, but it's good to have them out on YouTube. And podcast is available everywhere that you can get podcasts, and there's even T-shirts that have been designed by us cool folk, mainly American there, and Shannon at the bottom. And on the Discord, we did show, Shannon has been posting some amazing art, Shannon, that stuff is so good.
It's very kind of you, thank
It's
you.
so good. And the fact that like instantly a couple of people wanted that on a shirt design is... We got to give them that. Surely we should. But of course, with it being your design, I reckon we can just make sure that if anyone buys those shirts, that goes straight to Shannon because that is an amazing design.
Well,
Oh, bringing in a Turkish delight. Now that's
Turkish
controversial.
delight, yeah.
I know. Yeah, no, I'd like to make another shirt.
Yeah, cool.
But let's see how it goes.
It's a fantastic design so
the
far.
better.
Some of those poses are so goddamn good.
Well, what I was doing it for is to just try and cement in my mind what the characters are like. I think it helps a lot for me because I've never really cemented Baron Byram.
Right.
But when I draw him all skinny, almost like skeleton-y, that has helped a lot.
Right, gotcha.
I think that really works for his character.
Yeah, I think so.
He
Because like
probably doesn't
he's
eat
like
that
a
much.
smoker, and he's probably like on all sorts of amphetamines whenever he can be.
Yeah.
And did
Exactly.
that get put into the art one? It did, right? I think
Yeah.
in the art
Yeah.
channel. I'll just hold it up. It's not actually the best way of showing anything, but I think that's
It's really
I
cool.
think that's pretty good. Such a cool,
Super
Like
such a
just
cool
the whole on a light T-shirt, that would be really awesome.
I think that's really interesting though, Shannon, because I think getting the image of the characters in people's minds is the hardest thing because we don't always detail them. And it would be weird if we kept detailing how they looked and sound like. I don't know. It's a bit of a hard one. That's why it's so good that you guys do some kind of costuming.
You often
the
do it
visuals
in
really
like
help.
first session or something, but not each time, not each session. Maybe if we start off, maybe if people have a place where they can go see a picture of what we supposedly look like. Yeah. It'll help.
Or if we added them to like the opening thing, but
Yeah.
it's a bit more work.
Yeah, I mean, and we've got them on the starting soon screen. That pops up and that has the 8-bit stuff that you did, American, or the pixel art that you did.
Which is fantastic.
Which is so good. We've got you guys dressed up that they get to see while we're playing. The only other thing I can think of is making some... I was thinking about switching between overlays as we play. So something that is more focused on just us when we're talking, and something so predominantly us and a little view of the map, and then something that's more map-based with a little part and like switching between them as we play. I wasn't 100% sure. It adds a little bit of extra switching but it shouldn't be too common or regular, the switching.
I think the map is sort of peripheral to seeing people's faces and reactions, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, viewers, what do you focus on? I assume it becomes a big focus when we're doing battles and stuff, or when we're walking around, and so you can see what we're sort of detailing as we go. But do you find your time spent more on the faces or the map? I'd be pretty interested in knowing, to be honest.
When I was watching a little bit of your session last night, I sort of came in halfway through, and a map would have instantly made me know where you are, and so I think in that way
even
it's
I
helpful.
didn't know really where I was. I don't feel I'm so used to seeing maps while we play now that when it's kind of detailed and it's like it's a dark corridor and it opens up at one point and there's a room, I can't picture it as well because I'm focusing on like character sheet and what spell am I going to do next, and what did you mention? Just okay, back to what am I going to do in my next move?
Yeah.
That's why the dynamic lighting kills me, because I have no sense of direction in my daily life, let alone
Let me
like
try
seeing
something.
everything as like a dark corridor that I can only see like hardly anything, and I'm just like, where the hell
right,
am
I'm
I
gonna-
at any given time? That's how I feel with the
We didn't
dynamic
use
lighting.
dynamic lighting for that. I'm trying to find something that we
I
use
like
the
the dynamic lighting, but it makes you think a lot harder about where you're going to go. I find it like harder to track where we're going with the directions.
I'm just gonna-
but I
I
think
don't know where I've been. I don't know.
Yeah, where
anything.
you've been as well.
where you've been
especially,
is hard
isn't
to
it?
see. Yeah, because you're kind of like, have I been down that way? I can't remember.
I'm going to
Especially
try
when there's a lot
an
going on.
option at this point. There is an option that I can turn on. It didn't look good from my point of view, but I don't know how it's going to look from your point of view. So take a look. I've brought up the church that you guys destroyed. The big black square is a sort of
We didn't
Liberated.
do
is a
that.
hole.
No, we liberated
is a
it.
hole down to the basement. But I'm going to turn on what's called Explorer mode, and does that change anything for you guys?
I can see like a tiny bit more,
So
maybe.
as you move around, does that change? Like,
I'm not even sure I am.
Yeah, it's shaded where I've been. So while it's not the
there
primary
you
focus,
Oh my
once
god,
I've been
that's so much
somewhere,
easier.
so
Yeah,
I actually really like
okay.
that. That's
So
nice.
when I was trying it, just as I was setting things up for myself, it makes everything black and white for me. And I was like, well, that's just terrible. Everything's black and white. But it's actually working well now that you guys are moving around. So let's turn that on.
That's better.
When we go back.
It's way better.
Yeah, that's so much cooler to
I
have a
wasn't
space
sure if
that
it
you've
was.
seen.
It's like
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was just me, but
it's like Fog of War from
It's
the original
yeah,
Warcraft
yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Maybe that was Command and Conquer. Was that Command and Conquer
Yeah.
that had that originally?
yeah.
A lot of those old school games, had that Fog of War. But anyway, we can turn that on from here going forward, and that might help a lot more.
okay, that's cool. I've got two things.
Before you go on, my biggest concern about using that is people who grab their tokens and just start moving them everywhere to uncover maps.
Yeah,
We won't.
it's really easy. It's honestly
That
really
happens
easy
anyway
to do.
if you've got that.
Yeah, but it covers it back up when it's off,
Yeah.
when that
I
setting
think
is
I
off.
do more wandering with it just to see what's around when it's like the previous one when it's all black.
Right.
I find it so frustrating that I can't see anything that a few times I've started moving my token absentmindedly because I'm like, where am I? And then I'm like, oh wait, I'm cheating. But I've started doing it automatically because I'm just like, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself that
I find myself trying to inch my token forward to a point where it looks like I should be able to see.
Yeah.
So I think if I had that, I would not do
It's a real
that.
interesting one because you don't want them to, there might be a monster or a creature hiding in a corner that you can't see from at the door frame, and it's purposefully designed that way.
Yeah.
So you do want to just...
I get
but
it.
at the same time, casting big, black, ugly shadows in a room you've already been in is a little frustrating. I don't mind it too much for rooms you haven't been in because there's no way your character would know what's in there. And it might be a little frustrating, but it's going more towards the realism side of thing. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know yet.
It's when you're like in between spaces, like in a doorway. There are certain points I notice in that map where if you're in the doorway, you literally can't see anything.
Right.
Everything
Yeah,
is black.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It feels like you're in like a dark corridor when you like have just walked into a big open room.
Yeah.
You're just like, what?
And that's it's interesting because I don't see what any one of you sees. I see what everybody sees at the same time. So what Bill can see is uncovering one part of the room, what you're seeing is uncovering another part of the room, and I'm like, all right, they can see a decent chunk of this room together.
Yeah. So for the viewers, they see what everyone can see, right?
Yes.
Whereas we're only seeing patches of what we can see if there's walls and stuff around it. So that holistic view is really cool. But the bits of it can be quite difficult when it's only one of
I
us.
don't mean to excite everyone, But someone with the
Turkish
username KitKat485 just has followed us.
Oh my god!
I don't know if we.
I told you.
I don't know if we
Didn't I?
summoned them.
See,
I don't know if that's what happened. I don't know if someone just.
Fuck this Turkish delight bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm all about the Kit Kat, baby.
What has happened? How did this happen?
I really don't know if we summoned them or if someone just quickly made an account, but I'm hoping we
awesome.
summoned them. I really, really.
Hey, I just want to say hello to Mr. Nestle. Really appreciate you stopping in by the stream and following us. It means a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Yep. Thank you. Love the
and can I
chocolate.
just say, Kit Kats are delicious, and if anyone wants to send us a box of Kit Kats,
We'll love you forever.
Yeah.
I certainly am happy to act as the receiver of goods.
Yeah, just come into our Discord and we can give our delivery address for that. That's totally fine. There's 6.
And do not send green tea Kit Kats
I
to
love a
Barry.
big green.
Oh,
I'll eat
whatever
them.
you do.
I'll eat them. I'll eat them.
You can send both myself and Shannon the chunky Kit Kats because they're amazing.
Oh, they are so
The
fucking
chunky
good.
ones with the caramel are really good.
Yeah, I'll go Kit Kat caramel chunky, please.
Yeah.
Would you buy like a Kit Kat sort of arrangement of Kit Kat chunkies? So like each finger is a Kit Kat chunky.
I would.
Oh yeah.
I would
Absolutely.
smash that.
You can buy the big ones, right?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
do
Buy
that.
the...
I would.
Cool.
It's like the giant
Wow.
Toblerone.
I'm glad we're all in agreement.
Wow.
You're just like, would you buy 4 chocolate bars? Yeah. yeah. Yeah, I would.
All you'd have to
So you can
do.
pretend that it's just one.
All you'd have to do
Doing
Well,
it.
that's the thing.
is like sit them
It's
next to each other and kind of just melt the edges, right? And you've got it. You're done.
I feel like doing something like that for next week for giant food.
Giant food.
Ooh.
Like making a giant Kit Kat for giant food. I think that is something that I can do.
Do we have any people in the chat right now
you?
that would give us a subscription if we brought in a giant Kit Kat? Kit Kat 485. I'm kind of looking at you on this one, to be honest.
Well, they should
Do
bring
we
those,
need to do
actually.
485 Kit Kats and that summons the Kit Kat god? Is that the magic number?
I am quite
There's 45
amazed.
grams. And
You know what I love the most about that name? Is that when they sat down to create it, they typed out Kit Kat. And they're like, oh, God, this name's taken. Kit Kat 1. Oh, God, it's taken. Kit Kat 2, and so on until they got the Kit Kat 485.
Yeah, they finally
I
got
reckon.
there. They were like, that's the one I wanted.
Kit Kat 420 would have been taken ages ago.
Oh,
eh?
for sure. Anything with 420.
That's what I, yeah.
Kalan says if there's a giant Kit Kat, he will gift 5 subs.
I will do my best to have one by Monday next week.
Does that mean you're gonna?
I will
Does
make
that
one.
mean you're gonna start at like 6 on next Monday to get that?
No,
sorted?
on Monday I will buy 4 Kit Kat chunkies. I will come home and I will melt them together,
Oh yes.
and I will have one and to hold up.
I
my
I
gosh,
can't
amazing.
wait because in my head it's an
Yeah.
abomination. So I can't wait.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that show? Nailed it.
Yes, I love that show. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite shows. It's the best thing on Netflix. It's hilarious.
There was a really nice statement that I saw earlier that I've sort of zipped past, but we'll go back up to it. The Foolish Fool, our very favourite Duran from Wales, said he's changed his weekend lifestyle based on this show.
Oh, that's amazing.
Instead of
Wow.
staying up all night to watch it, he goes to bed super early and wakes up at 7 a.m. to watch it. That
Oh
is,
my God.
is so nice. That is just so nice. Thank you so much for that, Duran. So good. Also, Duran, that's amazing.
Wow. Everything's coming together.
And Kalan says he changed his stream because Kalan streams. Kalan has changed his streaming schedule so he can watch. So we've got the best fans. You guys are absolutely amazing. The support you give us is just so cool.
True.
So good. But yeah, everyone follow Kalan as well. He streams a bunch of cool stuff. A lot of Final Fantasy, a lot of Monster Hunter. It's Final Fantasy, right? I think it's Final Fantasy. Monster Hunter. Yeah, check him out. But let's get back to the winery. And I've turned this new setting on.
Yay.
Let's see how
I've got something.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Carry on, please.
What, you sorry?
Did I interrupt?
Yes. So as I finished casting Enhance Ability, I realized something. So I'd actually used up all my level 2 spell slots, so I have to cast it at level 3, which means I actually get to cast it on an additional creature as well. So after I bestow dear Bill with the splendor of an eagle, I look over at Morley and go, "Hey, you have some splendor as well. I'm feeling generous." And he's also got advantage on charisma checks.
So I was missing that. I've been moving you guys around some rooms to uncover some stuff. I don't know if that has improved how things
nice.
look for you guys.
Yeah.
So, as long as you guys caught what American just did, I'm happy.
Oh, so you didn't hear?
No, sorry.
Morley has mad skills now also.
Oh, you
can
put it on two people, is that right?
Yes, because I casted at levels 3. So now they both have advantage on charisma.
Okay, cool. Can you guys see a bit more of the map now that I've moved you around a bit?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm just going to... I don't know. I can't do this for everyone, so... but Bill, I'm using you as an experiment here. I'm just kind of moving you through some of the rooms you've been in, and now putting you back. So if you scroll up to the upper floor, can you see sort of like a black and white? Yeah, perfect. Okay, that's great. We'll do that from now on. I'm glad it's working. So it's kind of black and white. It's desaturated for rooms that you've been in, but it's colored for areas that you can see. So some of you might be able to look into a room at the moment and see a bit of mix of black and white and color. The color is what your character can see. So there could still be someone in those black and white areas that you can't see. So it still can hide things.
Nice.
Feel free to move things around into rooms you've been in. Try not to be in anywhere that you haven't. If you just want to fill out some of the areas you know you've been, just to make it look a little better.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, let's get back into it. Let's bring Sirenscape. Rain and wind back in. And I've got to get my I've got to get my water ready because I've got to get Davian's voice.
Oh, this is going to be great.
I'm just feeling very I can relax and let the smart person talkers do the things. I'm not going to screw it up. I'm just going to zip my lip and just not screw this up.
By the way, because of what this does to my voice and how much I know Davian's going to be talking now, I gave him the wrong voice. I definitely gave him the wrong voice. If I lose my voice a little bit during this, that's just how things are going to go. All right. So yeah, Loris, you've been watching Davian and a group of the people that he was with make their way up the path from the trees to where you're standing, and they've been looking out over the vineyard as they've been doing with a little bit of sort of worry or shock on their face. And Bill, you've sort of met up with Loris at the entrance to this vineyard as Davian sort of comes close.
So we cleared up. I stepped down. We cleared out those druids for you.
It's amazing. I saw fireballs and lightning. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. What about that? What about that glamour that stopped them from moving for a long time? That was pretty good too, right?
Oh, I didn't see any lights or anything. Just the lightning or the thunder and the fireballs.
Yep, that glamour was pretty great. Anyway, yeah, we saved your winery. You're welcome.
And he looks around, and there's he's been stepping over these blights as he's made his way over to you, and there's dead bodies in this area. There's an old man lying next to this wagon with a hole in his chest with blood seeping out of it. There's another woman in the corner over here who's not looking good. Her face is just covered in black and pus, and he's like,
"Well, you certainly told them a lesson, didn't you?"
Mm-hmm. Try not to get triggered by the dead old man. We nothing personal. It was about them trying to hurt us.
Well, that's good.
Your group is charisma.
You not tell?
So,
Splendor of an eagle, Bill.
Splendor of an eagle. That's right.
I'm about to poison.
Puffs his chest out and adjusts his armor. So yeah, we're not really sure what's going on here, but we have done our darndest, and I think we've done a pretty good job of saving things here for you, and hopefully you and your family can now live in peace.
He reaches out and he grabs your hand with both of his hands, and he's shaking your hand. He says, "Oh, thank you. You may have saved our house, our abode, but and he looks out over towards
Your livelihood.
and he looks out over to his vineyard, and he says, "But nothing is going to be able to save our grapes, our livelihood."
I beg to differ. I think you'll find over time those probably will grow back.
And he
Probably.
Oh, if only it was that simple. I owe you all an explanation. Please, gather around. I'll owe you an explanation. The Wizards of Wine, there is a reason for the name. It wasn't just some marketing mumbo-jumbo. The founder of this vineyard, whose name has been lost to time, he planted these magical seeds as big as your fist in the ground here, which each of these seeds, 3 of them, helped grow the vineyard into what you see in front of you. And when Strahd, his power, killed the soils and soured the land, it was these seeds that helped, these magical seeds that helped grow and nourish the vines and the grapes. But the seeds, they're not here anymore. The vines, no matter what you've done, the vines are gone. They'll only last so much longer.
How much longer?
I'm not sure, sir. It's the oddest thing.
and he's looking around, and he says,
Some of these had already perished, but they seem to have been given some extra life. Was this your doing?
I motion at American. This here is American. She is our friend, our druid. She gives life to the plants, and I think she's done your crop a great service here.
Oh, thank you, American. Thank you. Without that, all we had left was the few barrels you see here and the casks inside.
David.
I do have some bad news. In amongst all this good,
Go on.
some of the wine may have been poisoned by other people who would do you harm.
I like how you're clarifying it wasn't you that did it.
Yeah, you sound so suspicious. Oh, stop by.
Someone? Give me just like a straight just charisma roll. I just want to see how, with whatever advantages you get thanks to American's spell. This is like,
Just straight.
this is how softened, like how softly you're giving this information to him,
It's like-
basically.
Eagle Splendor. Bill, Eagle Splendor.
It's an 18,
18 total.
which was a 13 plus 5.
I'm not surprised. They were those goddamn druids and blights were one of the sons of bitches that stole one of the gems.
The gems.
Stole the gems?
The magic seeds. They stole. I swear to God that I stole one of my magical seeds.
What do you mean by magical seeds, David? What sort of seeds are these?
You remember moments ago him telling you about planting seeds underneath the vineyard.
I remember you saying so, but You're using the term gems here.
Well, they're metaphorical seeds, Captain. They're metaphorical seeds. They're magical gems. They acted like seeds, so we just kind of called them seeds.
But how many magical seeds, gems did you have?
We had 3, one for each of the types of wine or grapes that were produced. And 5 days back, the last seed was taken by those damn druids and blights.
One thing seems to have eluded us here, Davian. What business do these druids have with stealing these seeds?
Let's have a quick look here. I'm just going to try and see exactly if that's even, like, if he knows.
I don't quite know who is controlling the many forces that have fucked this winery over in the last 10 years. Sorry.
Sorry, this started 10 years ago?
10 years ago was when the gem that grew the finest grapes that we had here was taken.
The finest grapes.
Yeah,
I see.
the grapes.
What are your finest grapes?
The grapes that we used for our finest wine, the Champagne de la Stump.
Well, there's a name we haven't heard for a while.
My no-good
Or
Ever.
piece of shit son was meant to be guarding the goddamn thing, and he was off gallivanting with that woman, and then it was taken. And so we haven't been able to produce the Champagne Stomp for 10 years, thanks to that piece of shit son of mine.
I'm loving this anger. This guy rules.
Well, young men are wont to gallivant. Davian, they are.
Yes, well, I can't deny I've had my own special time of gallivanting, but it's costed us. It costed us everything.
Davian, do you have any idea where the magic seeds might be now?
I've got no idea where the first one ended up. The second and the third, I've got my thoughts on that one. The third one,
Well, do share them.
which I've just mentioned, has been taken by those goddamn druids and blights over at Yester Hill. Oh, we sent some of our own men over there to go and try and get it back, and they were no match for them. And unfortunately, we lost some very good men trying to return that one.
You say Fister Hill.
Vista.
Yester Hill.
Yester.
Yes.
Yester Hill. Molester Hill.
Yester
Sorry.
Hill.
Um,
I want to, can I elbow Bill and be like, can you find out the name of this lady he was gallivanting with?
Is it Danica?
What if it was
Um,
Angelica?
I'm assuming it was Danica.
which one are you talking
Oh, wait, that
about?
was her husband, right?
Which one are you talking
Oh,
about?
but there could be another one.
American, who are you talking
You're
about?
talking about his son.
His son was gallivanting with a woman, and
Oh,
I've
right.
elbowed Bill and whisper if he can help find out the name of said woman.
When you say that woman, Davian, is that the one who runs the pub with him over in Valaki
Yes,
now?
the Blue Water Inn, that's correct, Danica. She's lovely. She didn't cost me my goddamn grapes! It was my imbecile of a son. God, my grapes, my champagne.
Davian, should we bring your son to justice?
Wait, what? Bring him to
I know.
justice.
What did he do wrong?
Up on Fister Hill. Well,
You're just talking about
No,
what a fucking useless piece of shit.
that's totally fair. Like,
I'm trying to get into Davian's.
it's
The
murder.
less I have to do with him, the better. I don't even want to hear his name. I
What is his name?
couldn't do that to Danica.
Well, I mean, you know, we were all young once. We didn't understand what our actions meant. And I think, yeah, perhaps he made some poor choices, but he didn't understand the impact of those choices. And certainly wasn't expecting those goddamn druids to show up.
Those goddamn druids!
Especially not their blights.
Those goddamn blights! You're getting mad just thinking about them.
Probably just out trying to have some fun. And Davian, you know the old saying, no fun, no Blinsky.
I was trying to get some Blinsky.
I think
Bill pauses for a
Davian just like looks from Bill to you, Morley. Just with like a, he's not really sure. Can you give me a charisma roll? Just a straight charisma.
With
advantage.
With advantage.
He has the splendor of an eagle.
21.
Nice.
Davian's
There you go.
confusion kind of just settles for a moment. He says,
They are damn good toys, those things, aren't they? Blinsky is a craftsman. Amazing.
Oh, I love a good craftsman. Bill loves a good craftsman. Bill's been quite the adjudicator of craftsmanship.
Did you guys want to know about the second gem or not?
And
Yes,
the third would
please.
be useful.
If you could
Unequivocally.
impart more story upon us, that'd be great.
So if it wasn't just these goddamn druids and blights, if it wasn't for my imbecile of a son, the last gem, 3 weeks ago,
he holds up 3 fingers.
3 weeks ago, her scarecrow army came upon this vineyard. And they've been looking for weeks, digging around in my vineyard, and then they found it, and they took it. They took it to her. I know it's with her.
Her? Her who?
Who's her?
Her, the witch, Bubba Lysaga. She's controls the scarecrows. She's been digging around trying to ruin me.
Bubble Isaka.
Bubba Lysaga is the name he gave you.
Lysaga. Wow.
Babylai Saga.
Where would we find this Baba?
I do have. I might have to actually just check the map for that one, so he can point you in the right direction.
Just while Davian is having his little looksy in his mind, I just want to tug American quietly on her cloak, and just kind of go, "Weren't there gems in the pouch? What if we
I'm
remind
gonna
him that
nod.
it's like, surely we can just tell him about those? Like, doesn't that solve the whole problem?"
They might just be normal gems though, and I don't want him to know I snooped.
Yeah, you do. The gems that you found in the bag were kind of small, maybe a centimeter to some of them, maybe 2 centimeters in size. And the ones he mentioned were things as large as a fist,
Big as your fist.
big as your fist.
Ah,
I'm just taking a look to figure
I
out.
didn't catch that detail.
One fist a hill.
The old fisting gems.
Oh, no. Here we go. Stop.
Well,
Okay, here we
Hey,
go.
Bill. Ask him what was so special about that first gem with the champagne. Why did that wreck their business?
Yeah,
Man, I'm trying to find.
it's a nice obtuse question.
Oh, okay. Here we go. All right.
Just reveal.
Okay. Davian says,
The location of that witch is quite far from here. To be honest, is maybe a good half-day travel off to the east. You wouldn't be following any roads there. You might have to travel across land. And there was goddamn knights off to the south. God damn them.
God damn them indeed.
Damn them.
Thank you very much for telling us where that is. I'll confer with my colleagues as to whether or not we can provide some more help. But I did have some questions about the wine here, if you would indulge me.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard legend, tale of a wine so fine that perhaps even gods would seek it out.
Well, you wouldn't be wrong. The Champagne de l'Estompe is the finest wine you would have ever come across.
You say would? No more exists?
Well, the gem was stolen 10 years back, and the grapes died off shortly after. Exactly like what you're going to see with the remaining, thanks to these god damn drugs!
Did you perhaps sell her any of that wine?
We here at the Wizards of Wine Winery try not to sell what we have. We believe it belongs to the people of Barovia. We gift this fine wine.
Sorry, cellar, store for an extended period of time.
Restore them, yes, of course, yeah. But there was...
Do you have no casks left?
No. It was all... When I say I don't sell the wines, there is one customer that we don't really have a choice. But he pays us nonetheless. That was a long time.
I see.
A long time ago now, unfortunately, thanks to the loss of those grapes.
I see. Who's this customer? They obviously have fine taste.
The one who ruined the lands around us. Strahd. The evil that is the ancient. You can't say no to a man like that.
You say his name.
Well, that's his goddamn name, isn't it?
Goddamned indeed.
Davian.
I think Davian sort of picks up on you questioning that.
He's like, you don't buy into that boorish burgomaster's ideals, are you? Can't say his name. What's a name?
We're in case you haven't noticed, we're not from around here. So no, we don't. But we try not to cause trouble for the locals. We try to help them.
Yes, good. From what I hear, that burgomaster will lock up anyone who goes against any of his ideals.
Which burgomaster is that, Davian? We know a burgomaster who's a lovely fella, if not a bit dozy.
The burgomaster of Valaki, where my dumb as shit son lives, with his beautiful wife, Jonica.
Davian, this might seem an odd request, and I know you've probably got other things on your mind right now, but I'm somewhat of a collector of beverage containers. You know, people have their quirks. You wouldn't happen to have an old cask or barrel around that used to hold the champagne to stomp, would you, that I could add to my collection?
You see, he's a recovering alcoholic, and
Just a sniff.
it does him an honor to at least be able to have a wee snifter if he can't
Thank you
imbibe it himself.
For revealing my struggles and demons to Davian. That's lovely.
Just
Davian
give him a little elbow.
Davian turns and sort of mumbles something to one of the younger guys, one of the younger adults behind him, and the adult just sort of shakes his head, and Davian turns around and says, "We've got many barrels down in the cellar, but none from Champagne de l'Estompe. We never had them returned. We had them delivered
and never returned any back.
Delivered to Strahd, I bet.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, prophecy. Oh.
Why did we even
Dunno.
come here?
Yeah, why do we even come here? I just wanted. I came for the barrel, honestly.
You came here to help or receive the wine. Is that right?
Yes, we did. We did come here to help you and your family.
You're sounding very angry right now, Bill.
No. I'm not sounding angry. I'm just being really clear. Despite, yeah, I mean, I guess we were big fans of the idea of the Champagne de l'Estant, and it's only natural to wish that we could for once sample such a fine wine.
Well,
But
were you to find the gem, then we'd be able to bring the champagne back. It's the same for all of the gems, the missing seeds.
but you have no idea whether the Champagne de l'Estant gem is.
If only I would pay top dollar to have that returned to me. But I did notice how well you cleared everything out. Are you interested in maybe helping further?
I turn to my comrades.
Yeah.
I think we should help find the gems, but he hasn't really given us much of a clue as to where they are. But
He has given you 2 locations.
yeah. I'm thinking more the first one. That's the important one, right?
He's got no idea where that one is.
No idea what that is. So that's kind of the important gem that we need to know.
But these might lead on to something. So,
True.
sorry, could you clarify? You said there's Baba Lysaga. She took a gem or both gems? She took the
She
one
could only find one.
3 weeks ago.
I swear she would have found the others if it wasn't for those goddamn piece of shit druids coming.
So they're
only
fighting against
days
each
later.
other. They're not working.
No, definitely not. No. Maybe. I actually am not sure. It doesn't make sense for them. There must be someone leading this attempt to ruin us completely.
So who's got gem number 2? The druids or Baba Lysaga?
Baba Lysaga has the gem for our second favorite wine, the Dragon Crush, Purple Dragon Crush.
Cool. That's a good one. Let's get that one.
And well, there's don't mock.
Wow.
Purple Great Mash number 3 may not be the finest of the wines, but
Sorry.
It's eminently drinkable.
thank you. That's why I say to my other sons, not my piece of shit one. The other
I
ones
drank a
I'm
lot
still
of it.
Talking to
Piece of shit.
the druids and the blights from Yesterhill. I know they still have it.
Davy and I have something that may help you get back on your feet financially while we find ourselves dispossessed of the gem temporarily, I'm sure.
I'm all ears.
Morley brings out a kombucha that he purchased at the store. Davian, look closely at this bottle, and you see those little floaty things that are floating around in the kombucha.
Yes, it looks disgusting. What if there's some magic potion that will help bring my grapes back from certain demise?
This can be used to make more of this delicious drink that I drink all the time. And if you let it grow and feed it, you could sell kombucha. You could get back on your feet with a bit of a diversion. Diversify your portfolio.
Give me a persuasion with advantage, please.
23.
18 plus 5, fantastic roll. Yeah. Davian turns around to the younger adult behind him, and they sort of communicate a little bit. And the younger guy sort of leans out and takes a look, curiosity on his face, and goes back to talking to Davian. And Davian sort of shushes him, turns around to you, Morley, and says, "Well,
I like what I like this. If you can sort of show me what I need to do, I think it's the least I can do to thank you for what you've done here tonight. Today. What time is it?
This is for you, Davian, and are these all your family?
Yes, this is my extended family here.
And they all sort of come through, and they're all sort of like nodding and thanking you separately for everything you've done. And they've taken quite an interest in this kombucha.
I'll give Davian a bottle, and I'm sure no one wants to hear me roleplay the instructions.
Please no.
So yeah, you
Take this Gobi, feed it some sugar.
Yeah, I think Davian says, yes, you, come on.
and he motions towards one of the women from sort of the pack of people behind him, and she comes forward and takes you, Morley, and is all ears as you sort of walk off to the side, detailing what they need to do to sort of cultivate this kombucha. Yeah, perfect. American.
Can we ask him about the? I'm gonna elbow Bill and be like, can you ask him about the ravens?
Yes.
They seem very raven focused. Do they know that they're kind of infringing on Strahd's kind of branding, which is?
I'm like, yeah, I'll get into the ravens. We didn't do this alone, you know. Davian, we got lucky.
What do you mean?
There was an unkindness of ravens that dove upon our foes
And he just,
mid-battle.
he smiles.
He's like, well, I'm glad that we were able to help.
That was you?
No, it's not me, it's ravens. What are you talking about, man?
Well,
part of
we were facing druids. Who knows what? Who was what?
very cool.
Can you give me a?
I did spot one quite old raven. Was that
Can you
you?
give me a perception check, please?
Perception check.
Perception, would that be the right one? I'm trying to decide.
I rolled a, just without advantage, I rolled a 5 + 4 for a total of 9.
I'm trying to decide if that is the right roll that I want you to do. Let's have a quick check here. Sorry for the delay. Roll20 is loading. What's something? I'm trying to think. I guess it's investigation, perception. Yeah, it's fine. With a roll of a 9, you're not reading too much into the smile he's given, and he just
Shouldn't there be insight?
insight. That's the one I was looking for. Thank you. Give me an insight. What's your insight? All right, roll of a 15.
I have the same bonus,
Yeah.
but I rolled an 11 + 4.
We'll go with that. So you see a little something behind Davian's smile, and he sort of leans in and he says,
Bill, there's something else I'm going to trust you with, but only because you've helped so much and you've said you're interested in helping further.
Yes.
and he signals up to the trees behind you, and he whistles. He just does this little whistle, and the swarm, one of the swarms of ravens that you saw before, made up of maybe 5 or 6 ravens, picks up out of the trees and just swoops down in front of you. And as they get close, they all just transform into people wearing the same cloaks and cowls of Davian and the people around him. And that's where we're going to end it tonight.
The people are ravens. What?
That's where we...
Caca!
That was perfect.
Fucking knew it.
Yeah.
So, oh man, so many questions. Laura's is just like, if they can do that, why the fuck do they need us? Like,
Because they can
Like
transform
bird-
into
birds.
birds. Why do they need a wizard,
Like a
a druid, a barbarian, a rogue, and a bard? I don't know,
How
Dave.
much of those?
I don't know
those
why
ravens
birds can't
killed,
just
how
kill
many blights?
druids and vine blights and needle blights, Dave.
They killed like 3.
Yeah,
They killed like
They
20.
killed 3
All
twig
the
blights.
I was gonna kill all the blights that I was gonna kill. So like every time I went to the
That's true.
He's still holding a grudge against them, I say.
Literally 3 swarms of them killed 3 little twig blights that had 2 HP each.
my blights.
They
They killed more than I
hope-
did.
I like to think Loris is going to attack these raven people, be like, that was my kill!
That would be bad, and no, I won't.
yeah, so you I think you guys learned so much
So
tonight.
much stuff. I wrote 2.5 pages of
Oh
notes.
dang.
Wow.
It's like a lot of shit that we got told, and I'm gonna take a day or 2 to process it.
That's why
There's so many loose ends.
That's why I found it funny, like, John, your frustration of feeling like you hadn't got enough. I was just like, man, you guys are about to get a bunch.
Yeah, I think when we go back over it, we're like, oh yeah, we got told that, and then there'll be clues the next couple of sessions. It'll be like, oh shit, we should have remembered that.
There was a lot of information. So if you do happen to
Yeah.
forget things, I'm sure I'll be able to remind you as we progress. But who loves Davian? Yeah? We all like
He's
we all
hilarious.
like Davian?
Angriest
fan.
NPC. Love
Angry
him.
man. At least he's not passive aggressive. He's absolutely full on angry. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan
aggressive.
of his voice.
Yeah, I like his voice. It didn't
And
hurt
his-
me as much tonight, which is good.
And his catchphrase.
Oh, damn piece of shit, druid!
Goddamn piece of shit, son.
I love the fact he hates
Like
us.
his son so much, huh?
I'm just putting you guys onto the map. So we're just going to show you sort of around about where Davian was talking about. The viewers wanted to check this as well. So he's mentioned Yester Hill down to the south. And so if you follow the path south, you find yourself at a little hill over here. Right. He also mentioned off to the east was Baba Lysaga. Now, off to the east is quite a large amount of area, but he did say you wouldn't be, if you wanted to get there quickly, you wouldn't take roads, you'd sort of cut across the fields. This is where the old windmill was. Was that the windmill?
Oh, yeah.
No,
we were
the
there.
windmill was
that,
here.
That was
sorry.
the gallows.
Sorry, the
wasn't it?
windmill was the gallows. Geez, the gallows was way away. Sorry, the windmill was
right.
here. This was you guys having fun, putting squares around things and asking, "What is that? What is that?"
Well, that's where we thought the winery was.
Yeah.
What the winery is like?
That's where we thought it was.
Oh,
was
their
that's
there
right.
right in
That's
the
right. I'm
map.
going to get rid of those squares. So it's not that. It's somewhere to the south of that. But I'm sure Davian will mark it on your maps for you sometime. Yeah,
This
that
is
could be
me metagaming a bit, just based on my own knowledge. But I bet Baba Lysaga is what I saw a vision, like what my character saw a vision of way back when I saw a house on stilts. That's my guess. Just because I know old, like, folklore tales of Baba Yaga has a house on stilts, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's an old crone with a house on stilts. I bet it.
That's fair.
What do you guys think? Do you reckon? Does
Yeah.
anyone know Baba Yaga?
I know Baba Yaga. Yeah.
Yeah. Vaguely.
Didn't it have
And
like
Baba
leg
means
like?
like a witch in Japanese.
Didn't
Old hag.
Baba Yaga have like a house on like large chicken legs or something?
Chicken legs.
Yeah.
And it was found at night.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah. So that's So those are some new locations. So you guys have got a few locations now. You guys have got a few things to do. You've got obviously you've got Valaki where Irina is. You've got this tower that's much smaller than Loris. You've got Krezk to the north as well.
It's not that big, okay?
100 feet. You've got Krez to the north, where there is supposedly safety for Irina there as well. And now you've got the location of 2 of these gems. So there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I definitely
going
think
on.
we need to be hunting down these gems and helping the old man sort out his winery, and then he can sort out his shit with his son. Because I think that would just give his life so much more peace and zen. Because he's really got a whole lot of anger that he needs to deal with right now. And I think
It's gonna be a real Cat Stevens moment.
I need to somehow get the license for that song just so we can, if there's like a moment where they reunite, I can have that sort of playing in the background.
Well, Bill can do a cover.
I'll write something.
Yeah, Bill could do a cover for it.
Perfect.
It's not time.
And you've got wine to deliver as well, I guess, too.
Absolutely. I think those 3 barrels need to go back to town, to Vallaki, and we need to find the gems.
We could just travel with them for a while.
I'm almost going to
also got that,
suggest a split party effort, but maybe that would be a bad idea.
If you guys wanted to split the party, we'd find a way to make that work.
I think it's always a good idea, isn't it? If you
I've heard it's always a good idea.
I was thinking maybe the people that can drive a cart properly could take the wine to Vallaki, and then the rest of us can go look for the number 1 or the number 2 gemstones and see if we can find some hints about where the number 1 is.
No, this is just you trying to get the other party members out of the way of your kills, isn't it?
Hey, the less of you there are around, the more chance I've got of beating something off, all right?
Beating something off? Jesus Christ.
Beating something off.
You did that one on purpose.
Listen to the tape, Megan. I said
I'm
up.
fairly certain you said off. I am.
No, he did say up.
I need someone to clip that right
That's just
now.
you-
I need someone
that's
in
you
the
putting
viewers
something in.
to clip that, because Morley heard that as well, right? Beat something off.
The peer review are just listening.
Even
to
Shannon heard it.
We've started getting triggered by our own innuendos because
No,
I saw.
Jackalope said you totally said off.
I said up. Bill heard up, and that's all I
Wait,
need to know.
I heard up. I wish it was off. Hey, can I quickly give a shout out to Jackalope? She has had has been in hospital and stuff,
what?
and I'm very surprised that she's in the stream watching tonight. But thank you very much for stopping by, Jackalope.
Not only has she been
Really appreciate it.
watching, but she did post this in the Discord of an inflatable toast mattress. So she's
Also,
so she's keeping I'm glad you're able to make it tonight. I hope you're doing okay.
Thank you, Foolish, for clipping that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for stopping by despite everything you're going through. I'm not sure what that is. You don't have to share, but I hope you're doing okay. Cool. Did you guys enjoy tonight?
Indeed, it was
A little bit
hilarious.
of investigation, a little bit of role playing.
I was going to say, like, I felt like such a jerk when I was like, I side-eye Loris's investigation, and I was like, if this leads to nothing, it's going to be such a thing. I was like, oh my god, thank goodness there was actually something there. At the end
You
of the
were
day.
lucky that you found something.
There was a
'cause
part
Loris
of me that was like unsure if I was going to let it. I was thinking it was a little bit maybe metagaming, maybe, but I allowed it anyway. I wasn't sure.
I was like, my character was like dead set on investigating everything thoroughly. So I don't think it was metagaming because I was like, there has to be something here.
Yeah, I think it worked on the fact that Mirakin was literally turfing a rug up, so, looking around and just like, so Loris going, hey, it's a chest, money, whatever, moving on.
Can I tell you one?
Would trigger
Can I
her.
tell you one secret?
Go
Oh
on.
my god, we missed stuff, didn't
We
we?
did miss something
we
in the
did.
bedroom, yeah, but that's okay.
I knew it. I was going to say that. I was
She's
gonna
running
say
back
it.
into the bedroom next
It
week.
was nothing major. It was just the key to the chest. That's what you missed.
Oh.
Nothing
We lost
major.
it.
We don't need
It was
key.
in a secret compartment on one of the posts of the bed, of the 4-post bed.
Ooh.
Yeah,
You got me. You don't need keys.
exactly.
And if my lock picking had failed, I would have broken it.
Great, yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
I don't think your
Like I
team
did
would have
with the
allowed
door.
that. That would have been interesting.
Lock picks fail. Loris goes for the axe.
It sounds like
Yeah, they'll definitely know that we rifled through their shit if that happens.
you've got plausible deniability at the moment.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pleased that we managed to put everything back without looking like we disturbed it. That
Yeah.
was bar the one Eldrix piece that Byron took.
Yeah.
I'm just like, who is Angelica? Who's Angelica? I
Hmm.
need to know.
Houston.
That could be like their grandmother or
Yeah, it's
mother or
probably
something.
Angelica Houston. He's so...
He's just a fan.
Makes a
He's
lot.
just a fan.
Ah, she's from the Witches.
Yes.
She's probably Baba Yaga. Whatever the fuck.
Oh my god, it's all coming together.
Man, it's supposedly
Solved it.
there's people are complaining that there's been some sort of weird blurry pulse happening visually. So I wonder if there's been some issues with streaming tonight. I hope it's not too bad. Has it been too distracting?
No.
Everyone else has been okay. That's weird. Hopefully not. Hopefully not too distracting for you guys tonight. I think it was mainly quite a vocal stream this week anyway, so that's not too bad.
I'm so gutted that they managed to poison all 3 of the casks as we let them sneak up on us. Oh my god. And then they got away. Oh man.
We got screwed over. To be honest, someone screwed us over.
The DM.
Yeah.
I found that. I
The
found that
DM.
bit. I found that bit quite hard. Like, not quite hard, but you know, it always feels rough when you don't get to interact. Like you don't. It's not. You don't feel like you have a chance. You know, like a thing happens and you're like, oh, I wish I. Maybe we could have made different decisions that would have allowed us to get involved.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was going to be a hard one. You guys didn't even know it was happening, so you guys just walked down and found these muddy footprints. You know, I think the only if American had still been using that detect poison spell, then I think even the time it would have taken you guys to run downstairs, if you were to just run directly down the path that you'd taken up, because you would have had no idea that it was running outside. I don't think you would have. And you know what? D&D's a funny thing. You could have like managed to stop it straight away. I don't know. But yeah.
If we go find these druids, do you think we'll find a henge?
Oh, that'd be great.
We can only hope.
Or a circle.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
You might find that. Gutted that the prophecy about the barrel seems to be leading to Strahd. That's not what I want. I just wanted a fun barrel prophecy that I came to the winery.
Maybe that's where he keeps his Achilles heel in an old barrel. It's self-destruct button that he has.
Hidden in the barrel with the whatever the fancy wine barrel.
I'm really glad you guys pieced that all together, by the way. That was really beautiful how that all came together. Really, really good.
So you're saying we were right?
No, I just said it was nice seeing it all coming together. I was like the thought processes, finding all the different little bits and pieces and piecing it together in the way that you pieced it together. It was fun to listen to.
Was it accurate to listen to, or
I have no idea. I probably haven't read that far
Way
into
off.
the module yet.
I feel like you do have some idea, but it's
I know
okay.
exactly whether or not your hunches are correct or not. Yeah, I do.
Stay tuned till next week to find out.
Yeah, well, hey, what about these?
Well, it's gonna be like 12 weeks away. You're gonna be like, God damn it!
What about
You're off by this much.
who wants Davian as a new
Goddamn
NPC
Strahd,
that
this
tags along? What about these ravens turning into people?
That's weird.
Is that a druid thing?
weird.
It is actually a strange.
Is it?
thing.
Well, yeah. See, this
So
is the thing. Like another druid thing. Like, surely if they can change.
But they wouldn't be druids though. That's the thing.
But so
'Cause
this
he's
thing,
so
like, my thinking is
anti-druid.
like, if they can change into ravens, why can't they do anything else? Like, that's pretty cool to be able to transmorph into a raven.
Actually,
victim
because if they were druids, to be able to turn into an animal with a flying speed, they'd actually need to be a higher level than me, which leads me to believe that they may be doing some kind of shape shifting or something, or maybe I don't know.
Maybe they have special cloaks or something,
Yeah.
like Angelica Houston was wearing. It's got feathers on it
Again, it's all leading to
in
Angelica.
the picture.
True. Yeah. She had some of those feathers attached to the cloak in the painting, and Davian had a couple of those mentioned when you first met him as well.
Magical
Those are
cloak.
the same cloaks that we saw in the hanging in the
Dave,
in the blue
yes,
thing, yeah.
yes, they were. You saw some of
In
those
which
in
one?
the blue water.
in the
Inn.
blue in the tavern in the Blue Water Inn.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's where Danica said that her people will be looking after us.
Yeah,
it's an order. It's a secret
it's
society.
definitely it's a secret society of some sort.
I've been listening to a great podcast about secret societies.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's called Secret Society.
Oh. Well named.
Can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Find it.
or else they'll come get you.
This is the whole podcast is them saying, "Still haven't found any. They're secret."
Yeah. But that should be called failed secret societies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. They do the Sons of Liberty,
Isn't that from Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
Triads.
The Triads. Oh,
Yeah, They had the Hellfire Club, Skull and Bones, Knights Templar.
Nice. That sounds really
It's good.
cool, actually.
And
Nice.
soon to have the Raven people of
Yeah.
Arabia.
The Golden Dawn.
The Foolish Fool.
Yeah, that was there.
I can say each podcast recommendation Adam's ever given me, I have gotten really
Oh,
into.
nice.
So he's a good podcast
I'm actually going
recommender.
out, actually. It sounds cool. The Foolish Fool has asked, so what's the plan for next time? Are you going to go
Crystal Hunt.
back to the village to have fun in the festival that's sort of coming up? Or going on a crystal hunt?
Crystal
Because
Surely
there's still 2 more days.
2 days.
Yeah, it's 2 days until
Yeah.
the festival.
I vote for Crystal number 2.
Yeah, I think that's
It's mine.
And there's not going to be any.
I'm
festival
hoping
fun with that wine.
by doing Crystal number 2 and Crystal number 3, we'll find out where Crystal number 1 is.
Yeah.
That's my.
You put them together and they make a map of crystal where Crystal One is kept.
the Dark Crystal.
It's gonna form a triangle,
Yeah, which will
like an
travel-
Illuminati symbol,
Yeah.
and we're gonna tie together the Secret Society's podcast with the Raven Club.
The Raven Club is such a crap name for a secret.
Raven Club.
I know. The secret Raven Club.
Desmaria says that he personally thinks it's a perfect time for you to go and take out Strahd one-on-one. There you go.
Oh, absolutely. Let's do that.
Rip his
okay.
fucking
Before you've
teeth
had the
out.
advantage of being fully healed. I think that's a good idea.
That is
With a
that is
lip ripper.
totally Morley's. The end game for Strahd is having his teeth ripped out by Morley. It's totally going to
Probably
happen.
has told it.
That is how it's happening.
Yeah.
I like how
and-
you name your weapons. Like what you got, lip ripper,
What was
Going to be Fang Extractor soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have a fan
fang
extractor
fucker or
somewhere,
something.
right? Fan fucker.
Oh, the fuck is
Fang fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just rip him
Yeah.
out. I'm gonna get-
Loris has dreamed of that moment where he's holding Strahd's head and you're ripping out his fangs.
Wow.
I'm gonna
That's-
think really
that's
poorly of. I'm gonna think of less
Sounds
of Morley if he does that.
This is what Loris is
I
saying.
like that you think that you're just going to have his head in your hands. That's
Oh, totally. Loris is going to have it like totally. He's going to be on his knees begging for mercy, and then Morley's going to come along. And his fangs.
Some weird fantasy.
Wow.
Totally
Wow.
happening.
He's going
Dave,
some weird.
when you picture this, do you
Totally
picture
corners.
Duran's face for any reason at all? Not Alvira
It's
Duran.
It's
sorry.
definitely Strahd. It's definitely Strahd. It's definitely Strahd.
Morley. It'd be really cool if Morley pulled out Strahd's fangs and then turn them around upside down and put them
Oh,
back in.
brilliant. Would they just be the same shape
No,
upside
like
down?
the vampire teeth candies you can buy.
Yeah.
I'll put them in promo.
The pointy end. Yeah, it's like Mr. Bean or something. You could pull like a shit.
That's the end game of this very dark, gritty D&D campaign. Is a comedy teeth routine.
Yeah. Yeah, got your dentures.
Done.
Foolish Fool says, yeah, they were
Write it
dentures
down,
all
reckon
along.
that's how it's happening.
Or I'll use it against you somehow.
Do you think Loris is maybe a bit psychic? He's like, I keep seeing visions of this.
Psycho, not psychic.
Yes, psycho.
It means
Same, right?
in some way. Yeah.
I reckon we go
Are we-
south.
You're going south
Actually-
to Molester Hill.
Yeah, Molester Hill.
Oh, is that Fister Hill?
Off Old Velcher
What
Road.
is, what is the actual name?
It's
Yester.
Yester, right?
Yesta, right?
Yeasty Hill.
Yeah,
Yeast,
Yeasty
the
Hill.
Yeasty Mound. Off to the Yeasty Mound. God, no.
I think, just to be serious for a
After
moment.
the moist, yeasty mouth.
What was that puff of?
You missed that before.
Something-
He said
This
the
is
mist
fog
was
of
rolling through.
Barovia.
Oh, that's outstanding. Oh, that's so good. The
That's
vape.
what it's like in
Great
Barovia.
niche. So should we not maybe stay at the winery one night?
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing. I'm like, what time of day is it? And also, we're all exhausted.
It's
Well, I
only
know
like
I am.
midday. You guys got there.
I'm freaking spent.
You guys woke up at a little later in the morning. You went off to the church. You travelled a few hours over to here, and you've literally been at the winery for about 15 minutes.
No,
It's been a bit longer than that.
No
But
way.
Look, we can assault Radio Baba in the middle of the night.
you guys
alright?
have. It's probably about 2 p.m. At the moment. It's only 2 p.m. Yeah. You guys left with the idea that you'd be able to be back to Vallaki before nightfall, and if you were to leave now, you'd be back before nightfall. Or you can stay there.
Would also be exhausted.
Or you can travel south, or you can go check out the tower on Old Felcher Road. Whatever you guys want to do.
What's the actual name of the road?
It's Svalich Road.
Felcher.
Felcher. It is kind of concerning that because we use American, you're one of our main healers, besides Bardic Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bardic Man.
Bardic Man.
Your turns of phrase are out of this world.
I just
People's names, beating people
I'm
up,
just
letting
concerned
them
that American has no spell slots left, and it's like we're all kind of fucked. Besides you, Morley.
Jackalope.
I mean, we still have some potions and whatnot,
Yeah,
but
you do.
I've been like spending all my spells.
Jackalope did say that, Morley, you did promise Irina that you'd be back that night.
Ooh.
Did I promise I'd be back that night? Or
I'd
did
have
I
to
not
look
say
over
I'm
it, to
going
be
out?
honest.
Check the tape.
When I'm back.
I'd have to have a look over it. Look, if the viewer says it, I basically trust them. I trust them completely with the canon of this story. I'd have to look. I'd have to look and see what was said.
She's gonna be with the end, man. She might have to get used to a few broken promises.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we need to figure out.
You say, what does that? Treat him mean, keep him keen.
I'm not sure she's the girl you want to treat mean, though. She seems pretty...
Sorry, Irina. I was out literally saving the livelihood of an entire family of secret raven people.
She'd be like, where were you? You'd be like, I don't like her anymore. She's clinging.
Oh, where were you? Oh, 20 questions. Great, Rob. They're down the boozer for a kombucha.
Yeah, so we need to figure out what your deal, and we can do this just over Discord. You can sort of let me know what the deal was that you were trying to get with one of Davian's family, and figure out what the system is that you're trying to set up. Obviously,
I just want them to be able to brew kombucha and to give them a kind of a way to sell beverages, to have some money coming in while their grapes are rooted.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a great idea.
20% of the profits of that.
I like that.
Look, they're already set up for fermentation, so they're in a perfect position to ferment kombucha.
And I'm just
This
like,
lines up
and
perfectly.
Morley, who gave you the charisma to seal the deal? I'd like in on this.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, this wealth is for all of us. Morley's a big believer in the trickle down effect. He's a
We're adventurers and entrepreneurs.
Yeah. From what I hear, like everyone at some point playing Curse of Strahd starts a business somehow. Whether it's at the windmill or the winery, there's always something. Which is fantastic. I'm glad you guys found your
Well,
way.
Morley's already tried to get Bill in on the ground floor once with the
Yeah. Oh, look.
the
Yeah, look
kombucha.
who's laughing now, Bill. Yeah.
I think I'd like a portion of the profits to be set up in a fund for those children that we rescued from the windmill, because as Baron quite rightly put it, 2 gold in a jacket isn't going to see them through.
What have you got a kombucha name?
Oh, the captain's kombucha.
I was thinking Morley's mother.
I don't like it. Not good.
Because isn't the mother the like SCOBY thing? Isn't it called a mother that you make kombucha out of?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well, because it's a
when-
fucking terrible idea.
It's quite a good name, actually.
Oh, it's come on.
It's not good. It's really not good.
Captain's kombucha.
Yeah, Captain's kombucha. Okay.
I'm trying to think of like a pun around SCOBY.
Don't worry, no one will like it,
haven't-
Joe. Don't even bother. No one's
It's going to be great.
no one's up for cool
just-
ideas. Actually,
Professional comedian, so I think I actually know what.
I
wanna see a-
to like have some like, because you can have different flavors and they can all be named after different party members.
no. To see, no one likes that idea. No one, I was saying there's
think
no
it's
point
American's
putting out
mother.
ideas.
Did you hear?
American's mother.
America's really, yeah.
I like it.
I want to see a little bit more yes-anding from everybody, please.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking
We could
about.
name it after Yeasty Hill.
Yeah. So Baron,
Yeah.
let's go back to that. You wanted to go down to the Yeasty Mound.
Oh, Yeasty Mound, yep.
Yeah.
Because... Oh, actually,
That's
no.
where those goddamn
Sorry,
druids
go
are.
go down on the Yeasty Mound.
Only on late nights. With
I
getting,
really apologize.
That's on Getting Spicy. That starts in 20
yeah, getting
minutes.
spicy.
Yeah, Yester Hill is where the
Very
the goddamn druids and blights are.
God.
Goddamn fucking druids!
Yeah, I guess the druids, I mean, would be on their case,
Yeah, you guys have been destroying
Yeah.
them, so.
chase after them.
And one, you can
And
only
who knows
assume,
what the fuck this witch is
you
up
can
to.
only assume one just darted off to the south anyway.
And there's probably only one left.
It's probably just the one. How hard could it be? There's just one.
Damn, they've got warning and they know about us.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Could well be
let's get 'em.
one.
Do they want to start their own magic winery?
Well, think of it
Yeah,
this
we
way.
have to ask him about
They
that.
stole the gem 2 days ago, and they're still there, just ruining shit.
Maybe the Davian came by these gems through not so good means, through ill-gotten means, and they're trying to destroy the wine and destroy take the gems off.
Possibly. He told you.
Maybe his
obviously
family.
He did have a story, whether you believe him or not. He did have a story about an old wizard that founded this winery that buried these gems.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
I
how,
mean, they could have been stolen.
You don't know.
They could have been stolen off the druids
100 years ago,
100 years
100
ago.
years ago. Yeah.
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 These kind of things run deep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's a coincidence that they're both happening within weeks of each other.
Well, the first one was 10 years ago.
Nothing's
And then
a
this,
coincidence.
first
and then this
one,
last
but
week
then
has just
second-
been hell for that poor vineyard.
Yeah. A witch showed up, stole one.
Well, no, he
showed up.
mentioned that it wasn't the witch that took it. It was her army of scarecrows.
Yeah, the Scarecrow army that came and ripped shit out of the place.
At first, I thought that was euphemism for the blights.
Yeah, me
interesting.
too.
Oh, is it not?
Don't know. Well, you never know. All he said, I'm just
I
telling
took
you.
it as
I'm
being
just telling you the
something
words he's stated. He mentioned her scarecrow army.
It's hard to take a lot of what Davian says as like factual because he's kind of hard to understand a lot of the
He's
time.
hard to understand. What
It's
do
like
you
he's been. It's like
So therefore, he's a liar.
well, no, like it's
Truth
really
be
hard to
lied.
understand. It's like, are you? It's like it's just full of anger and full of venom. It's like really, you're just exaggerating a bit.
I want to meet
It
his
is
son.
fair to say that we should
We have met his son, haven't we?
assume that he is like pure as the driven snow. He could
Yeah.
You haven't met
But-
his son yet.
Ah, okay.
No.
You've met his
Oh, so
wife.
we've
You've met his
just met
son's
Dana, haven't we?
wife.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to meet the son.
the imbecile who ruined
One
this
of-
man,
yeah.
who ruined this man's life.
The piece of shit son. Because there's two sides to every story, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He would have just got murdered if he was still around, whoever showed up to... If it was anything like these other armies.
Well, for a moment there, I thought Morley was gonna take out a hit on him to give Davian some justice. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah, it did sound like that.
Yeah, it did.
In to Davian, I was just like, oh, should we bring him in? Bring him in for questioning.
It's not what it
It sounded like
sounded
you
like.
wanted to
I
like
should've
Yeah.
just
deal
did
with
it.
him.
Really? So if I said to you, I'd like to see someone brought to justice, you'd immediately think death penalty.
In Barovia, I might.
In Barovia,
Yeah.
let's bring him to
If we
justice
just-
for ruining this man's life.
Over a bit too long.
Let's just say we brought a bunch of druids to justice just
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah,
I said no. I've not. No one's been so
The-
It's a term, a euphemism for cold-blooded murder, and when Bill slid a rapier into someone's ribcage. Justice.
Justice has been served.
it is how Loris sees things. Though.
We don't doubt that.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of justice is given by the edge of the axe. It's that kind of.
It feels a little bit like making things up and then putting them into Morley's mouth.
Yeah.
No, when he said it, I was like,
none of
wait,
us
are
think
you
that
saying-
Morley.
I don't think Morley meant it that way. But then when I heard it, that's kind of what I thought he was saying. I was like, what?
It did sound like
I
it, but we think the best of Borley.
yeah,
don't
I
worry.
thought that's what you meant. I was in the camp of you just delivered justice to all of these things at the vineyard. I thought you were like, do you want us to go fuck them up? Like,
Yeah.
we can do that.
That's-
That's
yeah.
on offer.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm pleased that Davian didn't pick it up or didn't want to take it up. It was just a bit scary.
It looks like a lot of the viewers liked Davian as well. I'm really glad we got a chance to talk to Davian then again.
He definitely had his own personality.
I've been really so one of the things that I've been thinking about with this campaign so far is that personality is a little few and far between at the moment. Like Ismark's got a bunch of personality. He's a lot of fun to sort of play as, and he's a lot to go off as well and bounce off. But then over the last couple of sessions, it's just been you guys fighting some blights and some druids that haven't really communicated well with you guys. And I was just like, man, I need to find a way to bring in a little bit more personality, and I'm gonna try and extend that a little bit into some other cool ways that I'm planning. So for the future. So hopefully we'll, because I know what a lot of people liked from viewers and as well as some of you is some of these just ridiculous voices and personality that I give these NPCs. So I'm going to try and find a way to really bring some more life into some things, even if it is like a big battle like that. How can I bring some personality without just giving a dumb voice to all the blights? Or how can I? So I've been thinking about some ways. One thing that I did want to do tonight, which I hope you guys picked up on, was to show you guys the extent of what you guys did in such a short time. Because I know it's very easy to get lost in 2.5 sessions of just fighting one group of characters. But the reality is, to the outside, it happens in a moment. So I really wanted to paint that picture of you guys just going in there and just hell being broken out, just going absolute bananas, while Davian and the crew are just watching fireballs and lightning and thundershocks just all going off. I was hoping,
And the whole place growing.
yeah.
I think the timing.
That was like my favorite part of the session, by the way,
cool.
was you describing that stuff. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and
because sometimes when you're in it, you lose the timing of it. Like it
totally.
is 2.5 sessions, which is six and a bit hours for in game time. Like no more than 25 minutes, half an hour.
it wasn't even that. Like that
Or less
fight
than that?
realistically, probably if you were going by real D&D rules, it was like a minute. But so I expanded that out to like 7 or 8, just to try and make it feel, because like 7 or 8 minutes is actually if you were just sitting there waiting and watching, it's quite a long time. And so you guys are
And in
doing
battle
some,
terms, it's quite a lot. Oh yeah,
I'm
look
trying to be
there.
serious, guys. No, it's all right. It's all good. It's all good. I just
I do
if you
find
imagine
I find it tricky with fights because they can, in some ways, be the least interesting thing about D&D.
it can be.
Well, they can be like, unless there's something going on with some tactics and things like that, and the flow of battle. But at least once you start to win, you're almost like, okay, now I'm taking out everything, and it can just take time.
It was interesting. The first session you guys had at the vineyard was really quite slow, and it was a little low energy, and it was because there was nothing more than just they're surrounded. It wasn't until the second session when there was more of a time limit, they'd started breaking out of the overgrowth and were actually heading towards you. So now it was like, well, there's a lot of people, but there's also like, you're going to be surrounded. You're adding that extra concern. When they're just being slowed down and are far away, it's kind of just like, well, we can just sort of take our time and throw some stuff at them and do whatever. So I want to try and find ways to mix like a fight with some kind of goal as well, give it a bit more pressure in some way to try and make it a little bit more exciting. But yeah, the whole thing at the start was really just to help you guys experience the amazing fight that had just gone down from an external viewpoint, just for a moment, just to help show you guys the heroic moment that you didn't even know was as heroic as it was. So I thought that was cool. I thought basically
I have a question for you.
Thank you. Yeah, Bill?
I have a question for you, Reagan, because you asked us earlier if we enjoyed it or not. Did you enjoy it?
Tonight's session was cool.
Did you have a good
Yeah,
session?
I had a great session. Like I said, I really enjoyed seeing you guys piecing things together and coming up with theories and stuff. That was really cool. I absolutely adored playing as Davian. I had no idea he would be so angry about the druids, to be honest, until it came out. So that was fun. And then it was just something I just embraced and ran with. It was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, I think I want to see if we can like get this advantage on charisma checks. If we can get anything even more out of him, because now is like the time. Even if we can convince him to like give us aid and stuff, because we're all like absolutely exhausted and stuff. Like if he could, help us out in any extra special way, I reckon now's the time we could definitely push for that too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Give us some shit, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Been a
we know
level
you-
3 spell spot on my boys here. They're
we know
looking
you-
splendid. I
know
want to
you've got some
emphasize
stuff.
Bill's teeth. They're beautiful.
Did you like that
They're sparkling.
Davian was quite impressed with giving back life to some of his grapes as well? That was something that he definitely noticed. That took him by surprise. He thought his vineyard was going to be gone, and I think you've breathed a little bit of extra life into it.
I was a bit
We should-
unsure. Oh, sorry?
I was just going to say we should tell them they only get paid in Electrum.
You've gotten a bit excited about this Electrum, huh? What are your thoughts on that? What do you?
No, I was just trying to get into his money. That's all in a
Right.
in a silly
Right.
way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
we
that-
want to know his secrets. We do want to
But-
know his secrets.
Are other coins in Barovia stamped with Strahd's
No,
silhouette?
it was just the Electrum.
Just Electrum.
Just
Okay.
that one.
So maybe when Strahd pays for stuff, he pays in his own currency, which is
They're like
cool.
it's just like wood. It's like this is
They're like bison dollars.
nothing. You're like it's 20
Has,
of yours.
has everybody watched Street Fighter the movie?
Yeah.
Where
Yes.
Raul
Julia.
Julia.
he's in Bison and he pays for things with bison dollars, bison bucks, and he says every bison dollar is worth 100 of your American dollars.
I think it's 5 British pounds.
Oh, 5 British
Nice,
pounds. Yeah,
nice.
yeah. This is when British pounds were like 3 to 1 on New Zealand dollars.
And it sounds fancy too. doesn't it?
Wow. And then you're like, this isn't real currency, but then are you really going to argue with
I
a
mean,
guy
what are you
like
going to say?
that?
You're going to say no to Strahd? He could just give you a handful of sand and be like, "There you go. Here's
Yeah.
your payment."
This isn't legal tender. Come on. Actually, speaking of his fields, I was like, oh, I wonder if I could use that plant grow spell to help him to enrich them for a year. But it sounds like those gems are necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always give it a try. I mean, that just means it just means you've got a year to either come back and help him out again, or you've got a year to hunt down these gems, I guess.
I mean, we've just started a small business through him, so, it'll happen. It'll work out.
You need to grow some sort of things
It would be
to
amazing.
help
though.
flavor the kombucha.
Still thinking about some Scoby puns, guys. Hit me up, Desmarius, with your kombucha names.
I think he
Come on, the king of puns surely has some.
look. I'm sorry, Des. He had a very bad one.
Oh.
Was it as bad as Morley's mother?
Hey, Des.
Wow.
Never mind. Morley's mother was a lovely woman. I'll let you be the judge. Desmarius suggested Scoby Doo.
Oh.
Fuck off.
What are you talking about? I think someone fallen in love with his own lame Morley's mother, and he's like, "Oh no, nothing's as good as my one."
Scooby.
Okay, fine. I can't appreciate puns in the same way, I guess.
It's very good.
It's just have you not thought through the fact that it sounds like it's flavored with his own mother? Like,
It's made from
So
Morley's mother. Like, it's
disgusting.
Morley's mother.
I don't want an old lady flavored beverage.
You just go down to old yeasty mound to get your
Yeah,
taste
yeah.
of Morley's mother.
Oh. God.
What's the Tom? Jeez, it's getting on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Scooby Doo.
I feel like I'm always the contrarian. I quite liked the Morley's
Thank
mother.
you, John.
Brand.
Thank you.
As a brand, I think it was cool, but as a flavor, hell no.
It's not the flavor. What is?
That's right.
Have a taste of
What does it taste
Morley's
like? Well, it
mother.
tastes like my mother. I just even on the fucking label it says that's not the name of the brand. That's the flavor. Morley's mother.
It's like Psycho.
Yeah, we don't have a brand yet, we're
obsessed
working on
with his
that.
mum.
I just imagine that there's like a nice little image of like a nice old lady who looks like she's like one of those old things of she's got the apron on, instead of pulling like cookies out of an oven, she's just holding this glob on her hand. Morley's mother.
It's like pulling something out of somewhere else.
It's like
I rolled
Hey, this
a
isn't
full
Felcher
0,
Road
0, 0.
anymore, Shannon.
For my joke, I got a 0.
Yeah. Total
That's
no,
zero.
that's
100.
100.
That's 100.
Ooh, okay, it was good.
You can't actually roll a 0.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Got 100.
85 is pretty good.
Let's call it a night.
Diminishing.
Yeah.
How
It's
many
all
viewers
downhill
was still
from
there?
here.
So yeah, you can't statistically get a better roll than what you had
We've
before.
We
peaked.
have
We've
peaked. I'm
peaked
sorry.
for
We're
the
going to say
night.
goodnight to everyone. Because the
All right.
viewer count is just dropping right now. It's like,
Say good night to Morley's
say goodnight to
mother.
Morley's mother, everybody. If you like what we
sweet dreams
have
and all
done
that, yeah.
tonight and you're not already following us, please do give us a follow. We had Verenistra Warlock gave us a follow about 40 minutes ago that I ignored and should have said thank you for. So thank you so much for following us. Kalan gave us 100 bits at one point there as well. So thank you for the ongoing support, Kalan. You're amazing. Come stop by in the Discord. It's no dancing for bits. Don't
No,
whore
he dances
yourself
for
in that way,
everything, remember?
Molly.
No dancing.
Cut the dancing. Come talk to us in the Discord. Come check all of our stuff out on YouTube and anywhere that you get podcasts. Go buy a t-shirt if you like the designs we've got. And just come say hi. Preferably in the Discord, not when like outside my window at night. And we'll be here at the same time next Monday. And hopefully
With a big
we'll
Kit
get, bring some Kit Kats over if you're going to visit.
You're going to have a giant Kit Kat.
Yeah, you're getting a good night Morley's mum from in the chat as well. hashtag Morley's mum. Thank you everyone for your support. Thank you for coming. We'll see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.
Bye.